అది more options.
హలో ఓకేనా వస్తుందా
అటు కూర్చోండి
Yeah.
అరే ఇప్పుడు మనం ఆపేద్దాం మాట్లాడుతున్నా మాట్లాడుతున్నా వస్తుందా హలో వస్తుందా యూపీసీ యూపీసీ
क्या हो जी गोरा घराली खट्टा
వరం
खट्टा
నా వెళ్ళి మిగతా వాళ్ళకి వాయిస్ కట్ చేసేసి మిగతా వాళ్ళకి వాయిస్ వస్తుంది అందరికీ వాయిస్ మ్యూట్ చేసింది పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ ఎవరికి వద్దు మనం యాక్టివేట్ చేసిన వాళ్ళకే కావాలి వాట్ ఇస్
బాబు సౌండ్ వస్తుంది. వరుణ్
సార్
సౌండ్ వస్తుంది రబ్బా.
ఎస్ సార్ అది ప్రిన్సిపల్ సార్ రూమ్ లో కొంచెం ఇష్యూ ఉంది సార్ అవి మేము సార్ట్
ఓకే
చేస్తున్నాం దాన్ని.
ఓకే. అది వరుణ్ యూట్యూబ్ లింక్ కూడా ఇచ్చిర్రా? వరుణ్
ఇప్పుడు జూమ్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాలి. ఇందులో పెట్టండి. క్లియర్గా వినిపిస్తుంది.
శ్రావ్య మేడం, గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
हेलो डीन साहब, कृष्ण चैतन्य सर. हेलो डीन.
Sir,
Yes.
1 minute, sir. Sir, 1 minute.
పర్లేదు. గుడ్ గుడ్, కంగ్రాట్స్.
Yeah. अरे 1 मिनट का सुल्तान,
एक दिन का सुल्तान है.
1 मिनट का सुल्तान.
Good morning, sir.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ మేడం.
Hardly
Sir,
there will be
voice
one
clear
minute.
is sir?
వాయిస్
Is my
క్లియర్ ఉంది
voice
మేడం.
clear? Okay, sir.
ఎస్ ఎస్. అదే ఏదో ప్రిన్సిపల్ రూమ్ లో గడబడి ఉంది మేడం. నౌ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఓకే. కృష్ణ, నీ వెనక ఉన్న లైట్ బంద్ చేయాల. నీ వెనక ఉన్న లైట్ నీ ఫేస్ ని డామినేట్ చేస్తుంది.
అవునా?
ముందు తెలుసు.
ఏడుందా దాన్ని ఎక్కడ ఉంటుంది స్విచ్?
మేడం గుడ్ మార్నింగ్. అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి మేడం. మేడం మీరు అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి మేడం. కవితాదేవి మేడం, ప్లీజ్ అన్మ్యూట్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్. యా డీన్ గారు, ఫైన్, స్మార్ట్. అన్మ్యూట్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్.
Yeah, now I think you are getting my voice.
ఎస్ ఎస్, సూపర్.
Yes. अरे दो दो 1 मिनट का सुल्तान बोले ना?
హౌ కమ్ యూ కెన్ టేక్ 1 hour మాస్టర్.
Eh,
యువర్
hardly given. Just you can take 2 minutes. They said he said okay.
ఓకే ఓకే.
Chaitanya sir, it is recording.
శేఖర్, గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
Good morning to all.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్.
వీళ్ళందరూ మన కాలేజ్ స్టూడెంట్స్ వీళ్ళందరూ.
మార్నింగ్ సార్.
యా యా, గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్. గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ టు ఆల్. అమ్మా స్టార్ట్ చేయండి. 10 o'clock అయింది. అది యూట్యూబ్ లింక్ ఉందా లేదా అని. వరుణ్, మన యూట్యూబ్ లింక్ ఉందా బాబు? వరుణ్, యూట్యూబ్ లింక్ ఉందా? యూట్యూబ్ లింక్ ఉందా లేదా? ఎందుకంటే నీకు
Shekhar sir, shall I start? Maybe for joining me, okay? Jacob sir has to give green signal.
శేఖర్ సార్ లేడు మేడం. ఆయన ఎవరు మన పిల్లలు ఉన్నారు జూనియర్ అసిస్టెంట్స్.
సార్ వచ్చింది సార్.
జూనియర్ అసిస్టెంట్స్ ఉన్నారు, నేనున్నాను ఇక్కడ ఎవరు లేరు.
మేడం సార్ ఫోన్ చేసి స్టార్ట్ చేయండి మేడం. శేఖర్ గారు ఫోన్ చేయండి. బేటా వరుణ్,
ఎస్ సార్, ఎస్ సార్.
అది యూట్యూబ్ లింక్ ఇచ్చిర్రా?
ఎస్ సార్, షేర్ చేస్తున్నాం సార్, ఒక 2 minutes షేర్.
అయ్యో
So the meeting will be started in just 2 minutes, sir.
ఎగ్జిట్ అవుతారా బాబు?
Good morning. A warm welcome to one and all for the online workshop on research methodology and the project work preparation of MCOM second year 4th sem students. This workshop on the research methodology is designed to make you feel comfortable, sensitized, you towards exploring the academic interest. On this occasion, I, Professor Sarita, on behalf of the Department of Commerce, welcome you for all the inaugural, for the inaugural session of the research methodology and the project work preparation. It feels privileged to me to inform you that nearly 44 college lecturers and the students are attending through online and previously are attending this workshop today. We have shared the online link to attend the students and the lecturers for the YouTube channel. The principal heads of the department arranged an e-classroom with OHP PPT for all their students in one room for the interaction and attendance. The college has to send the visual pictures to the concern of the concerned students attending present online workshop. Now I call the three functionaries of the Department of Commerce, Usman University, and the guest of this workshop by inviting and introducing. It takes privilege to me to invite and introduce for this online workshop Dr. N. Gangadhar, Head Department of Commerce. Dr. N. Gangadhar is a distinguished professor of commerce and currently serves as the Head Department of Commerce at Usmania University with 27 years of rich experience. He holds the administration position as Dean Faculty of Commerce at Usmania University. He holds the Head Department of Commerce of PG College Secunderabad and Nizam College. He also worked as a Vice Principal of PG College Secunderabad and also in Nizam College. Dr. N. Gangadhar has presented papers at national and international conferences. In his presence, he published 22 papers in various national and international journals. I welcome you, sir. Now I am happy to invite and introduce Dr. K. Krishnachaitanya, Dean Faculty of Commerce, Ismail University. Dr. K. Krishnachaitanya, Professor of Commerce, present Dean Faculty of Commerce, Ismail University, and previously worked as a Chairman Board of Studies in Commerce, Ismail University, Head Department of Commerce at Telangana Mahila Vishwavidyalaya, Koti, and the Directorate of Admission, Telangana Mahila Vishwavidyalaya, Koti. Dr. K. Krishnachaitanya was also a youth welfare officer with my university. He has more than 30 years of teaching experience. He specializes in finance and marketing. He has participated in various national and international conferences. He published more than 20 research articles in various reputed national and international journals. Presently, he is guiding 8 students, scholars. He has done a minor research project which was sponsored by the UGC. He has published more than 5 books. He is also a resource person for the various national seminars workshops. He was a nodal officer at the Koti Women's College. He is a member of different committees at the University Colleges of and Koti. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
Now it's my honor to invite and introduce today's speaker, Gagan Naresh Reddy, Registrar of Usmania University. Dr. Gagan Naresh Reddy, Distinguished Professor
సార్ అది
and
మళ్ళీ
Registrar
హోస్ట్
of
మీకే
Usmania.
వెళ్ళిపోయింది సార్ టీఎంటీసీ
His area of interest is accounting and finance. He has
సార్ మళ్ళీ చూడాలి సార్ ఇది మళ్ళీ
80
అటు
years of
మీకే వచ్చింది
and research experience. He has published
వరుణ్
more
సార్ మళ్ళీ చూడాలి
in national and international journals.
అదే సార్
He authored 17 books and edited 7 books. He has developed 6 video lessons, translated 38 MOOCs modules. He attended and presented research papers in 45
ఓకే సార్
seminars. He received the Best
సరే
Research
సార్
Paper
సరే
Award
సార్ కొంచెం
and
తొందరగా ఇది నన్ను ఓకే సార్
conferences.
ఓకే
He has organized 3 national and international conferences. He has been awarded and 2 postdoctoral and 8 doctoral scholars are currently working under his supervision. He has completed UGC major research projects. He received the Best Teacher Award 2024 from the Telangana government. He was the secretary of PS and is the vice principal at University of Commerce and Business Management of Usman University. I welcome you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Thank you.
మీటింగ్
Now I am delighted to invite and introduce Dr. A. Patrick, Chairman, Board of Studies, Department of Commerce, Usmania University. Dr. A. Patrick, Recipient Professor of Commerce, Chairman of Board of Studies, and Public Relation Officer, Usmania University. He holds an MBA and PhD with net qualification in Commerce and Management. He holds a rich experience over 27 years and administration positions including additional control of the examination, joint director of admissions, Usmania University. He translated many MOOCs modules in the organizational theory, behavior, and digital marketing. Professor Patrick has trained professionals across India, including research scientists and executives. He presented papers at different national and international seminars and authored 2 books. He supervised 6 PhD scholars. He got the award of IPA Best Commerce Faculty Award 2009, Institution of Practical Accounting of Hyderabad. His areas exercise accounting, marketing, strategic management, quantitative techniques, research methodology, and soft skills. I welcome you, sir.
Welcome, madam. I am Harderbach.
Thank you,
Ah,
ma'am.
yes, sir, yes.
Madam, researcher is busy to go somewhere in the court or thing. So first,
Okay, sir.
to invite the researcher to do the
Okay, okay, sir. Okay. Just I'll introduce Dr. Kennappa, then I'll introduce you.
and so sorry, go.
Now,
Thank
introduction.
you.
Okay, okay. Now it's my privilege to invite and introduce Senior Professor D. Kennappa. Senior Professor D. Kennappa is in the Department of Commerce. He obtained his MCom, MPhil, and PhD degrees from Usman University, Hyderabad, MBA from IGNOU. He has 34 years of teaching experience. He authored 4 books and edited 20 books. He has published many articles at international and national level journals. He conducted many national and international seminars. He participated in 3 international conferences held in USA and more than 70 national seminars held at national level. Under his supervision, 2 MPhils and 14 PhDs have been awarded. He is a UGC Research Awardee, Telangana State Best Teacher Awardee, IPA Best Commerce Faculty Award, and Usmania University Vice Chancellor Awardee also. He adorned many administration positions. He, among them, are served as NSS officer, NSS coordinator, warden, vice principal, and chief warden of the University of Usmania University and the principal of University College. Sir, now also, sir.
This much. Now,
Sir,
yeah, now it's good. Now it's
he will serve as a dean chairperson of Board of Studies and a committee chairperson for many universities and colleges. Is it clear, sir, now?
yeah. Please over to Naresh Reddy sir, madam. Sorry, you are the-
Okay. He also worked as a registrar of parliament in medicine and a good medal. I welcome Sir Chennappa, sir. Now I request our registrar, Usmania University, Gaddam Naresh Reddy, sir, to give his valuable speech.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hearing my voice, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, is clear.
So can I speak?
No. Now Naresh Reddy sir will speak, sir. Please wait.
Ma'am,
Sir, Naresh Reddy sir is having an urgent work, official work, so let our registrar speak first, then you can speak. Registrar sir, please.
ma'am, మాట్లాడాలా?
I Meer Khan
Ma'am.
sir,
Yeah.
Naresh Reddy sir,
Good morning,
good
madam.
morning, sir.
Madam, is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, respected Head Department of Commerce, Professor M. Gangadhar, respected Dean Faculty of Commerce, Professor Krishna Chaitanya Garu, and respected Chairperson Board of Studies in Commerce, Professor A. Patrick, Senior Professor, Professor D. Chennappa, Professor S. Kavita Devi, Coordinator of this program, Professor I. Shekhar, Principal, University College of Commerce and Business Management, all my friends from the Department of Commerce and various faculty members from affiliated and constant colleges, student friends, all the MCOM students friends. Yeah, I take this opportunity to say one or few words because I am busy with some assignment. So I wish you all the best, and this is a very much important program to all the final year students for the completion of their research methodology, and especially they will complete their project within the time. And you please try to learn from the eminent speakers they are going to deliver on the research methodology. So this research methodology will helpful to you for carrying out your project within the time. So I thank all the faculty members, and not only that, I thank the administrators from the Department of Commerce, head dean, chairperson, principal, and the senior professors from the department. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Good, Naresh.
Now over to Kavita madam.
Gangadhar.
Yeah.
Kavita madam, మీరు చెప్పండి. అన్మ్యూట్ చేయండి.
Unmute, ma'am, unmute.
Now head is online.
మేడం చెప్పండి. నెక్స్ట్ ఎవరు?
Head.
మ్యామ్ వినబడుతుందా వాయిస్?
వినబడుతుందమ్మా. Go ahead.
Now I request our head Department of Commerce, Professor N. Gangadhar, to give his welcome address. Sir, start.
Good morning, everybody. I welcome you all. Respected Registrar, Usmania University, Professor Gaddam Naresh Reddy, and the Dean Faculty of Commerce, Krishna Chaitanya, Professor Indrakanti Shekhar, Principal of UCC BM, and Senior Professor and former Registrar of Palamuru, Senior D. Chennappa, and the Convener Professor Kavita Ma'am, and various college teachers and students, my dear students. And this is a good opportunity for you for learn to the research methodology. And this year we would not allow any topics, and you can take choice yours, and a good topic you can select and you can do, and you can utilize this proper platform for this for you. And so I would not take much more time. Thank you very much. All the best of luck for all. We would not allow any topics, and you can take choice yours.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. గంగాధర్ సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ. మేడం అన్మ్యూట్ చేయండి.
And you can utilize this proper platform for this for you. and so I would not
మాట్లాడండి
take
మరి
Thank you very much, sir.
thank
Thank
you
you very much.
విజయ్
all
మ్యూట్
the
చేయండి
best of luck for
మేడం
all.
మాట్లాడండి
Now I request Professor Krishna Chaitanya, Dean Faculty of Commerce, to address the online gathering.
Now it's audible?
Yes, yes, yes. Very much audible, visible.
Yeah. Yeah. Good morning.
Good
Madam,
morning.
good morning for your good words,
Good morning.
especially. And good morning, everyone.
Super.
The respected dignitaries who joined through online, Professor M. Gangadhar, Dean, Head Department of Commerce, and also Director for the program, and Professor G. Naresh Reddy, Registrar of the University, Senior Professor D. Channappa, former Registrar, and Professor A. Patrick, Chairman Board of Studies, Osman City, Professor Indrakanti Shekhar, Principal of the college, and Professor S. Kavita Devi, Program Coordinator, and all the faculty who have joined from different colleges, and my dear students who are the participants, who are the MCOM final year students who are going to be benefited by this program. Yeah, if I come to the point, research methodology is a really good program. Of course, the program conducting of the program has become tradition of the department. Even previous heads also conducted this program. And now, just now, head was telling that you are given full freedom to select the topic. Previously, I think Professor D. Channappa, when he was head department of commerce, he selected the topics and he sent to all the students in to different colleges. But this time, students are given freedom. It seems, of course, it's a good thing. I don't think. Yeah, if I come to the point, research methodology, really it's very much useful to all the students because it is compulsory to prepare the project in a program. According to your program, it is compulsory. First, what is research methodology? Of course, you have eminent teachers are there still. I'll tell you one or two words only. The research methodology is a systematic framework where a researcher uses to conduct research which encompasses the techniques, strategies, and the procedures for data collection, data analysis, and also interpretation. These are all the things includes where research methodology. So if you have selected a good research methodology, if you are with good research methodology only, you can carry out your work in a systematic way and you can go for a validity of work and a reliability of work. Simply, I'll tell you, it's a blueprint of your study, which ensures objectives, unbiased objectives, and which achieves the intended goals also. So definitely, you have to select or frame a good research methodology for your work. Finally, of course, the topic also mentions that preparation of report writing. See, if you have done all these things in a proper way, in a systematic way, definitely you'll go for preparing the report. While you're preparing a report, definitely you should keep in mind all these points which I mentioned. First, you start with the title. Good title is important, and then go for abstract. Abstract, of course, the teachers are there to explain what abstract is, and the introduction also is important, and experimental details, techniques, and results, and then discussion of the study and go for conclusion and summary. So definitely, it's very useful program. Professor D. Channappa is there to class for you people. Definitely, you'll be benefited today. You learned a lot today, and also Patrick sir is there. Every teacher is going to teach you in an effective manner. I wish you all the best, and uh, I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Kavita madam, and also all organizers. Thank you.
కవిత మేడం అన్మ్యూట్ చేసి మాట్లాడండి
Yeah. Hello. Channappa sir.
Yes, yes, I am there.
Yeah. So I closed
Okay.
Depends, sir.
because of course, these many PPTs are there.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, madam. Good morning, madam. Kavita Devi, madam. Am I audible?
Madam, please speak out. Okay, sir. Over to Chenappa, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, good morning to one and all. And it is a really very great a contribution of the Department of Commerce. Really, we should congratulate and thanks the entire organizing team, particularly head Department of Commerce, my best friend, Professor M. Gangadhar. The Dean Faculty of the Commerce is also one of the best friends, Professor Krishna Chaitanya, then the principal of the college, and also my friend, Professor Indrakanti Sekhar, another best friend and colleague, Chairman Board of Studies, Professor Patrick. Today, very important personality, Register of Usman University, Professor Gaddam Naresh Reddy. Again, my learned colleague and coordinator for this program, Professor S. Kavita Devi, different colleges principals, affiliated college students, and particularly University College of Commerce and Business Management, MCOM, third and fourth semester students, and MCOM IS students. I welcome wholeheartedly for this one-day workshop for preparation of the research project. At the outset, I thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to speak as a first speaker and giving ample time to address onto research design. So just my dear students, please pay your attention. You know that you have been learning since BCom first year onwards. What is the research? Because of at undergraduate level also, you have the project report coming to the one MCOM also at the last semester. You have to submit the project report. Now it has percolated even intermediate students also in coming academic year onwards. So now it is a must. Now the thing is that how best, how much quality of the project report you are going to produce. For that, the Department of Commerce is helping you to make it your projects are very qualitative rather than the quantitative. So for that, definitely the research design, it should be a blueprint. It should be basement for your construction of your research work. It should be a land breaking idea to come out with the your project title. In this regard, I have chosen to speak on to the research designs. Apart from that, what the most of the students commonly they do the mistakes because of you have exposed a little or maximum exposed to the project work, but we would like to drive towards to the where you do the mistakes and don't do the mistakes after listening to me and after listening to the other very eminent speakers are there. So then the briefing about this entire program, I'm going to speak about to the research design, how should be the basement is given. Then the Professor Patrick Anthony is going to speak about to the 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 data analytics techniques using about so many techniques. He has too many methods. He has it. Again, Professor Indrakanti Sekhar is going to speak about to the project report preparation, final project report preparation. There are 3 sessions, 3 hours uninterruptedly we would like to speak and definitely with your interest only. We do not know that how many have put the only profile pic, how many people are listening it. But I have seen that a good number is registered, even 189 people are there into the this Zoom platform. I wish that almost all 500 plus should be there into the even YouTube platform. Therefore, again, I appeal to all the people, please pay attention. Unless until you pay the attention, you cannot learn anything. But we may be speaking, but we also may not get good satisfaction. When we get the good satisfaction means when we spend about more than 1 hour with you, then definitely if you learn something, if you don't do any mistakes, As I mentioned, the common mistakes in yellow color, if you don't do any mistakes, definitely this purpose will be served and definitely you will going to be benefited for it. With this, definitely I will move to the next slide. So this slide is also the same thing. I also outlined for my presentation into only two headings, that the research design and common mistakes, question and answers. As the program organizer stated at the end of the hour, you can ask all common questions. We will all will be logging, and when whoever may be there, they are going to address to you then. Just look about this. The research means thanks to the our dean, he also started telling that what could be a research is there. The systematic investigation is there. Okay, then you have to collect the certain material. Based upon the material, you have to come out and you have to establish certain facts. Without collecting, you should not speak it. Without investigating natural or universal truth, you should not speak it. Do some innovative activities, do some inquiries, do some investigation. If you do systematically, wonderful. Do it and come out with certain conclusions with the established facts, with the certain facts. In this facts means the commerce, particularly it is under the social science. Under the social science, establishment facts means only the approved annual reports or approved publications by the government of India or authorized agencies. So that could be the main concept of the research. Again, so many slides, everything me talking and any other speaker talking and you do speak it. The research is a systematic inquiry at describing and predicting, controlling, and all the things will come. So research means it is an investigation onto certain problems. Okay, I hope that you got some idea about the research means. Then immediately I'm jumping to the design. My initial remarks also I stated that it's a blueprint, it is a basement, it is a land breaking path. Okay, and it should be a document. Now the design is also be, as I speaking that blueprint, as I speaking land breaking mark, don't go and break any land, but make it in documentation. You make it a documentation. The document is also should be a written document. You plan for it to take white paper, and if you plan for it, that could be a research design is there. What you want to do that, which topic you would like to investigate it, and which method of the research you would like to adopt it. That if you put up on a paper, and that paper should be called as a research design. The research design is a written document. Research is a seriously systematical investigation to finding the facts. Describe the facts is called as a research. The design is one of the documents which is a completely written how to start and how to complete, how to interpret it, how to give some suggestions. That should be called as a research design. So again, another things the Vikalp also stated that it is a concise and coherent should be there. The research design also should not be loose enough. Don't take it a razor pencil and erase it and again write it, again erase it, again write it today one idea, tomorrow another idea, day after tomorrow no idea, kept idle. Then not that they called as a design. It is a blueprint means it's a concise one. It is a coherent one, integrated, embedded with the all the starting to the ending one. If you integrated with that, definitely that's your journey will start very effectively. Your journey will start very effective. Lot of hundreds of the definition is there. I hope that you learned it third semester and fourth semester of MCOM, even the first and second or third semester in the BCom level. Therefore, I do not go much details about the definitions. So research means it is a systematical investigation to finding the fact. That is the research. Design is a pre-written document with the describing the fact to what you would like to investigate it with a concise and precise with a coherent. That could be called as a design. Design it is a paper. You are planning on a paper. That is a design. Research means you have some idea to do it. Certain research is there. That is a research design and research plan. I hope that I am clear. Anyone, the students particularly, unmute yourself and could you give encouragement to us to speak better things? Anyone else?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Again, somebody has shown that web page is not available. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much. Then Don't do much exercise, my dear operators. Yeah. Now, almost all it contains, the design contains 11 headings. Somebody they can make it as only 5 headings also. Somebody make it 12 also. But our convenient and easy to understand by the students, friends, I make it as a 10 is there, but appendix means some attachments, annexures also. I put it annexures also very, very essential under to this entire research design when it get approved about it. First one is when Dean also started talking about title, then introduction should be there, problem should be there. Based upon to the problem literature review, based upon to the literature review, we have to find out the gap. And this gap also be very important gap or very normal item is there. And the culmination of all gap and importance need, and you can come out with a certain research problem. If there is no research problem is there, you need not to do any research about it. Then the formulation of the objective, hypothesis, research methodology, data analysis, as well as to the and presentation, and then the appendix is there. Now I will focus up to the this research methodology up to 8 points within a given time. Within a half an hour plus, I would like to complete this 8 points from starting from to the title of research methodology. Ninth point, definitely you are going to have wonderful lecture by the Professor Patrick, data analysis, and again report writing with the our honorable principal, Professor Indrakanti Sekhar, youngest principal. So now then come back to me. What I would like to share to you, that what I would like to focus on to you, that the title. So the title is it is a phase of your research project. Title should be very attractive. Title should be readable. Title should set a tone which direction you are going to do the certain research project work. The title should cover the entire study which you are going to study for it. There's a title itself. Now you can see that nowadays you can see that the so many investigation agencies, they do not go and they do not inquire about you. Then just they will take your mobile phone. They will see that what kind of chatting are you doing it. Again, they will open your Facebook. What kind of things you are uploading it. Again, they will open about your messages and telephonic conversations and talk and the pictures and reels. Based upon to that, they will assess you that what kind of people are you. Similarly, when the project is there, just the title should contain each and everything. Such a mode, such a fashion, you have to fix the title. If you don't fix the title very loosely, you will fix the title. Definitely that losing about your attraction, and you are inviting these so many questions. When you go with the evaluation, you know that it is also be 100 marks, totally one paper. The title itself it is wrong is there, definitely you can I cannot tell much about it. For example, I put it a very comprehensive title, an analysis of digital marketing strategies. There is a digital marketing strategies are there, and the effect of this sales performance in retail business. So retail business is there, sales performance is there, marketing strategies are there. Again, in the digital marketing strategies are there. Completely, it is an example only. So such a mode you have to fix the title. If you fix the title, taking certain care, definitely you are going to attract the investigator or examiners as well as by you also. Now the project means you should get your own satisfaction by the end of the day, not by only the marks. I have done something else. That is necessary for us. So therefore, my first slide also indicated that the research design, what it contains, 11 items it should contains, and some common mistakes. Also, I'm going to express I depicted in red color. All are those mistakes oftenly committed by the students. Because of this project report, my project preparation of report not new for us. We have been evaluating, we have been conducting, we have been lecturing on it. Still, even then, till today, students are committing mistakes. Therefore, what kind of mistakes are there? Just I depicted on it. Please read it yourself or listen carefully. And not reading and not listening, and don't do this kind of mistakes in the title itself, the 3 lines title itself. Number one is title should not be too big. Title should not be too short and small. Again, title should not be misrepresentation of the fact. For example, gold prices are rising. You are mentioning that your title is gold regions are explaining to the gold prices are falling. It is against to the facts. There is a stock volatility is there. There is a stock market is falling day by day. They're crashing at the national level and international level. But you are mentioning that the stock prices are rising. The bull market is taking places rather than the bear marketing taking places. So in the title itself, it should not misrepresent should be there. Again, while describing, completely how to describe it, anything abbreviations you should not put into the title. First, you clearly state it. ICICI Bank is there, HDFC Bank is there, any bank is there. Completely, you describe it, then make it as abbreviations. Don't say that abbreviation everybody knew about it. Not like that. A layman should read about your project. So therefore, the abbreviations don't use into the titles. Again, don't make it so many jargons. So many jargons means you have good language, you have good subject in the mutual funds, stock markets and derivatives and even options, futures. You have a lot of things is there in your mind, but that devil mind don't put onto the title. Simple thing, simple, you can express how the title should be there. The attractive should be there, preciseness should be there, cohesiveness should be there. Then that should give the what should is going to happen in that entire your dissertations. Any acronyms, you may be developing certain acronyms also. You are writing and make it as a certain short forms. Before that, please explain it. Before that, explain it and make it as acronyms. Then again, don't put any question marks either ending or starting also. Don't start with the, does this impact the stock market? Does this gold prices fall in future? Does this online lecture is impact on our students? Does this YouTube is visible to all? Don't start with the question tags. The first prefix also no question tags, and even also suffix also no question tag. The title there should not be questioning itself. The title should be only assessing should be there. Assessing should be there. Only assessment should be there. Only study should be there. Hello, principal office. That kindly unmute yourself. Then the again in the title itself, don't do the spelling mistakes and grammar mistakes. Now they take the lot of platforms are available. Please take the help of the platforms and auto check grammar is there, auto spell check is there, auto correction is also there. Kindly do it. Kindly do it and correct it. I'm speaking only title. I'm speaking only 3 lines only, my dear friends. While committing 3 lines or 2 lines, if you do the mistakes, definitely things will go away. Definitely things are out of hands now. So therefore, I appeal to that. Don't do the certain mistakes. Don't do the certain mistakes.
Sorry to
And
disturb you, sir. Kavita madam, mute చేయండి. Kavita madam, mute చేయండి, please.
yeah, thank you, Sekhar. Again, don't challenge in the title. I will challenge this. Government may not implement. Don't challenge about it. And then the your research title also put a certain limitation, certain scope also fix it, but without scope, boundaryless. You know that you are MCOM fourth semester student, a limited time, limited fund, and limited subject exposure is there. Within that period only how to complete it. Therefore, whatever the points I have mentioned that please concentrate on it. Then don't do mistakes in the title itself. I hope that you learned it. You don't commit any kind of mistakes. So this is the flow chart is there. Many times you might have seen it. Then looking to the interaction part, it's a very important one. The once title is there in the title, of course, when the project report preparation, the design, then the Professor Indrakanti will might be sharing to you that what the entire first page should be covered it, the name, title, and logo, all the things he might be covering. But the design, my focus should be the title. That title should be very, very clear. Then coming to the inner parts, the introduction must be there. The introduction para should be self-explanatory about the project. Anybody can read it. they can understand that what it is going to happening. And the introduction should not be the 100 pages or 20 pages or 30 pages, even not even 1 page even. My dear MCOM students, the introduction should be, if you put it in paragraph, one paragraph explaining about your project, it is a wonderful. That is a 1 page is enough for it. It should, within the 1 page, it should cover about the scope, it should be cover about what purpose you are doing to the research. Definitely people will appreciate, and people will listen to you that. Then the when you are mentioning about the introduction part, the characteristics should be the clear, specific, and it should be describing to the content, which content is there. The content, as I spoke about the stock volatilities, content I spoke about the gold prices, content I spoke about the impact on the education policies, and it should be relevant. Whatever your broader area is there, it should be relevant to the your field. If I'm talking about new education policy, but you are talking about the traditional policies, mismatching. Again, that is a given. Given this one is going to be missing it. Again, definitely you can mention that your title should be the impact and evaluation. These are the things you have to mention for it. If you don't mention it, definitely you will losing your attention, and you cannot come out with that. Okay. Then the again looking about this the introduction part, definitely you have to come out with the background. For example, as I quoted that the stock market volatilities are there. Reason is there is a tariff war between the US and China. That not only China, it is percolated to the entire globe. So there is a tariff war is going on. Apart from that, there is a war in between to the many countries. We'll take about Russia and Ukraine, even Israel and Hamas, and our India and Pakistan. Some and the armed tension is going on because of this reflecting onto the stock market. That's a background, you have to write it. Once you write the background, people can understand that, okay, these are the things are there. Then the what purpose you would like to do certain research. Also, you have to mention that. What is the objective of the project, and 1 or 2 sentences you have to write. And what is the statement of the problem, also you have to write it. And the what kind of methodology you are going to adopt under to the your entire project, and which area you are going to focus. You are expecting any solution for that problem also. These are all are to be included into the introduction, preferably not more than 2 paragraphs. Not more than 2 paragraphs. My dear students, if you do this, I hope that you are wonderful students, and the purpose of this online platform will serve now. Then take the, as I mentioned, that the third one is the research problem should be there. Without problem, you should not do any research work. For example, the government is also pumping so many schemes, that the schemes reaching to the needy beneficiaries or not, you would like to evaluate it. There are so many problems. Societal problem is there, the economic problem is there, political problem is there. Okay, now the another one is a financial crimes problem is there. Again, now the cultural problems also have come up. You know then. What the cultural problems means? The mother is killing their own daughters and sons. Wife is killing his own husband. You see that there's a cultural problem, societal problem, economic problem, political problems. Some problems should be there. You take up, you pick up, and made it a certain problem, and you can probe it that problem. If there is no problem at all, you need not to do any research about it. In that problem, you have to visualize, you have to specify the objectives. Without visualizing, without specifying about the objectives, for example, I quoted the so many examples. As I mentioned that, then the societal problem, even the cultural problems also I mentioned that. The relationship problem is also mentioned that. What is my objective is should be there. I want to study the relationship between to the mother and kids. I want to study the relationship between the trade war and the stock market volatilities. That could be my objective is there. I want to study that the impact of the Raitu Bharosa scheme. Again, while stating to the research problem, you should put up with the deadlines also in our language. We can call it as it is a period of the study. So your period of the study is less than the 3 months. You have to plan for it. Whatever the budget, limited budget is also there within the budget. Either the primary data, secondary data, you have to mention, and novelty must be there. Some new things should be there, not age old some problems. So like so many students will come, customer satisfaction of the Airtel mobile phones. Okay, customer satisfaction on the scoop ice creams, customer satisfaction of visiting about the malls. No, there are hundreds of the problems are there. Thousands of the people are suffering the problems. There is no financial literacy. So you can pick up the novelty topic, come out with the innovative ideas. That's we are expecting. That kind of problem you identify, then you can come out definitely. Yours is going to be wonderful project is there. Again, as I mentioned that in yellow color and red color is you do commit mistakes. Don't commit this kind of mistakes. So whatever the problem should be there, it should be stated. It should be stated very clearly and clarity how to state it. And the articulation is very, very essential about whatever it may be there. It may be social problem, cultural problem, political problem, economic problem, and your problem is also there. Even internet problem is also there. YouTube problem is there. The articulation is very, very essential. Then focus. Which area I would like to focus? Then you should not go with the parameter. Reverse parameter is required. The narrow to broader, broader to narrow. That's a focused area is required now. Unless you cannot generalize, you cannot universalize it. You cannot collect the data for entire population. The limited number, limited period, limited budget, limited small issue, then you come out and you can come out with certain solutions. Some problem is there. For that problem, come out with the relevant solutions. Again, as I mentioned that this mother is killing their kids because of the economic problems. Come out with a certain solution. Wife is killing his husband because of his torture when they are united. So you come out with that. Then he was tortured because of she would like to take revenge. Then such as relevant. If I'm talking to the cultural aspect again, if I'm mixing with the stock exchanges, that's out of our areas. So then again, you should have certain knowledge. Fundamental knowledge should be there. If you are having inadequate knowledge, you don't have any fundamental knowledge is there, definitely again that is also be taking to the another directions. So you look up the important problem. Just I've listed out the certain problems. As our head of the department stated that you can choose your own project. It's a welcome step. One time we experimented that Professor Indra Kantashekhar worked a lot to monitoring the titles and see that the no reputations of the title, and we have given the titles. At that time we have done, that was a one great success. Now that's our head feels that the freedom should be given to the students. They can come out with the new titles. They can come out with the new innovative novelty titles. So for that, simply I mentioned that the certain emerging problems now. Now the social media is emerging. Because of social media, people have started pub games. People have started about using gambling. People have started using about the cryptocurrency trading, and cyber crimes have come. Again, tariff war is there. Impact of NEP is there. Skills now, the Telangana government, even central government is also started that there is a big skill gap is there. The providing the skill gap and creating employment opportunities. You can take up. Another one is the terrorism and business. Again, the gold prices. Again, aspirations of the students. You study what is the aspirations of the students. What is the psychological study? Wonderful study then. What is the aspiration? According to me, that once a student of MCOM, he will get the first year admission, definitely you should be given the same day the hostel accommodation, plate, bed and cot and books and library card, ID card, everything. The next day, the classes should be commenced. That might be the aspirations of the students. Is it addressed or not? Again, either by the institutions or by you, it should not be the conflict of interest. If you have the conflict of interest, because of you want to do something, but your actions are different, the conflict of interest is that nothing is going to happen now. Again, another problems are so many freebies are there. For the education is also free, and so many scholarships are free, so much of the domestic items are free. Then everything is free is given. How the society is there, how the impact on the economy. state economy or central economy or other economies are there. Again, hundreds of the schemes, day by day scheme. Then you can go with the evaluation of the schemes. The customer satisfaction is also there. Then the comparison, you can comparison between the private and public sector, comparison within the private, within the, or more than the, likewise, the two company, two banks, two institutions, two persons, two philosophy, two psychological factors. Pick up it and you can do the studies. The sum of the areas only highlighted for your knowledge sake. Then the fourth item in the design is review of literature. What could be the review of literature means previous studies which are ready-made available into the libraries, now into the even Google platform is also there. My request, my dear students, if you are looking about the finance, please pick up the standard textbooks and read it about their models, their theories. Suppose dividend theory you want to do certain research work, please read the dividend theory. Suppose capital budgeting you want to do certain research work, pick up the finance book, aka con chain book, and read what is the capital budgeting, what are the ratio standards are mentioned that. Again, what will be so many theories, neoclassical, classical theory, modern theories are there. Please read it. So many models are there. Hasberg model is there. XYZ models is there. Again, design is also descriptive, exploratory, applied. Please fix it. First, you read it. Then fundamental knowledge, if you gain it, then you start the research work. Then the whatever the title you pick up it, not only confining to reading to the books, so try to read about even the journals also, which are available in the library, which are available into the Google platform, because of the most of the journals are now in open platform. It is available at your juncture at the MCOM final year stages or MCOM IS final year stages. Just you can browse effectively. If you browse it, I will show that at the end of that so many softwares are available, so many programs available ready to browse it. So browse it. Then the journals related to your area, you can come out with that. Then the thesis also available in the library. Go that newspaper. In that newspaper, particularly read editorial and columns and opinion. Yesterday, you can read about that. Wonderfully, I read about one article. Then Aparna Reddy, she's from Tamil Nadu. She wrote an article published in Hindu paper. But wonderfully, she articulated that. What she articulated means, she articulated that then when the terrorism is there, then only pumping and making more drills, it is okay, but better to recruit the teachers rather than the giving to the guns and encourage them to pick up a pen. Rather than using about the combo operations, construct about the schools. Again, rather they constructing about the bunkers to the army people, they started that the construction of the standard education institutions. Again, the penalizing to the parents, like counseling the parents, not to encourage about the terrorism. Likewise, Aparna Reddy yesterday's in the paper, wonderfully she has articulated about how to overcome this kind of terrorism, particularly like huge population country like our India. So you read it, their opinion. Like reading is essential, my dear students. Apart from that, government documents listed. Then if you do it, wonderful. These are all the red color is there. Just to have a look because of paucity of the time. It takes 2 or 3 hours time seems to be. My friends might be waiting. So these are all the things are there. Review of literature is also the inadequate, lack of focus. You did not review at all, copying from to the others. Just your reporting. While reporting is also your misleading reporting. Again, poor describing about it. Okay. But you are adding about your own interpretation. So no, your own interpretation should not be added. Madam Kavita, madam, please unmute yourself. Yeah, own interpretation should not be there. Again, outdated reports also be not necessary now because of the even TV channels. Kavita Devi, madam, please. Kavita Devi, madam, unmute, please. Then I know that time is there. Time I am looking about watch also. Battery is also ready now. Okay, fine. So, dear student, please look at that one. Yeah, yeah, I know, I know. So these are all the factors there. Then the research gap, my dear students, then the You, after reading about the review of literature, find out that some unanswered questions or any leftover is there. Unresolved problems are there. Any field, it may finance or marketing, HRM. Kindly identify for it, then you can pull it out in the different directions. You can do it. Definitely, that is going to be helping to you then. Then these are all the under the category of that. So many things are there. How to solve the problems. Then the again the sixth one is objectives must be there into the research design. You have to formulate the objectives. While formulating the objectives, also you have to look into the certain examples. It is essential for that to study the socioeconomic conditions and organization details of the employees, to identify the influencing monetary motivating factors, to analyze, to understand, to measure the impact of the employee motive. Likewise, you have to come up with the objectives. If you properly formulated, definitely you have to get through about entire thing. If you are confusing into the formulation of the objectives, again it taking to the other directions now. Then clearly how to state the objectives. You are not clarity, if you're missing is there, and the obscure objectives, low priority questions, and important factor is there, you are not addressed about it, not gauging about the research work, not properly formulating hypothesis. Again, what is a low and below average your project is there. The seventh one is there, hypothesis formulation. You know the definition. Hypothesis means statement, your illusion, your conclusion, your opinion, your expectations, your observations, your inferences. These are all called as a hypothesis. It should be tested one. Hypothesis should be tested one. But here my interest is there. You know what is the hypothesis? How many types of the hypothesis are there? You know them. But my interest is there. My interest is that how best you can formulate the hypothesis, how logically, how sequentially you are formulating about the hypothesis. That is our quite interesting is there. So just look about the how the hypothesis should be there. Hypothesis should be conceptually clear. Hypothesis should be specific. Definitely hypothesis should be empirically testable. Empirically means number, numerical. It may be ordinal or it may be numericals. Again, it should be related with certain techniques. Again, it should be related to the theoretical body language. It should be there. And sometimes you can test with the qualitative and quantitative aspects. Based upon to your hypothesis, it should be measurable. Suppose scaling is there measurable. Suppose it should be the testing is there, it should be acceptable and it's rejectable. And finally, whatever the hypothesis you formulated, those hypotheses must be testable hypothesis should be there. Again, I mentioned that you were not clearing formulating hypothesis, not articulations, inadequate. Again, I hope that then type 1 error and type 2 error. Often you do mistake. Type 1 error means you have to accept it. Rather accepting to null hypothesis, you are rejecting it. Type 2 means you have to reject it. Rather rejecting or accepting it. You do all the mistakes. And my dear students, it was covered at undergraduation level. Therefore, don't do certain mistakes while formulating of the hypothesis. So try to focus about the formulation of the objectives and formulation of the hypothesis also. Then the methodology is also there. It is one of the wonderful area. We have to cover the methodologies. The first one is there under the research methodology. What is the sources of your data? Your project, are you going to prepare based on primary data or secondary data? Or you are also welcome to prepare on the both. Sometimes you're using secondary data, sometimes you're using as a primary data. Both also welcome. Then you can decide about the sample also, the sample size also. Suppose as a student, minimum 40, 50, and make it as who should be the unit. Students you are going to be interviewing, or employees are you going to be interviewing, or consumers are you going to be interviewing, and whom are you going to be interviewing? Those are called as a sample unit. You should specify about it. Whomsoever available if you are interviewing and collecting data, that may not be the correct. Then who should be your population? Define it first. Define it under to the research methodology. Sampling. There are so many methods: random sampling, there non-random sampling, then the judgment sampling, probability sampling, convenient sampling, quota sampling, cluster sampling, snowball sampling. Which one is you would like to adopt it, and with that you pick up it and you write it in the blueprint. You have to mention into the design, and based upon that you can mention again the distribution and How much frequency is required? You are going to be confined to the only one variable or two variables, and that should be how to specifically or mention it. Definitely, the research methodology should be very, very strong. That is going to be helping to you. Again, the what kind of statistical tools are you going to use it? Just that preparation of questionnaire scaling and all other thing. When you are coming to the statistical techniques, are you going to using about only descriptive statistics? Are you going to using about inferential? Are you using about predictive? Are you going to using about forecasting? And are you going to using about advanced statistical tools? In that you have to clearly mention that after using to the statistical tools and whatever the hypothesis must be there, you have to test it. Then the scope of the study. My dear student, please mute yourself. Then the scope of the study, geographical area, because of your MCOM student confined to one smaller area, and the period also take only 5 years, not 10, 20 years. And then the conceptual area, you just customers or the satisfaction or impact, and for the procedure, not lengthy procedural, and even choose certain selectively, if you choose selectively, that is going to be helping to you that. Definitely certain limitations also you have to write under to the research design. Limitations mean don't say that I don't have time, I'm busy. Again, don't say that I don't have money. Again, don't say that I don't have knowledge on the particular subject. I don't say that I am not suitable to do the research work. That is a must and should is there. And then they don't they come out with your own personal interpretations and personal opinions. Okay, the personal opinions are cannot be accepted under the project. Okay, then the so much of irrelevant also there. Then the this is a data analysis. Definitely, my next speaker, Patrick, is going to speak about the data analysis. And the secondary data, if it is there, make use of the trends, graphs, charts, and interpretation. Primary data is there, make descriptive statistics, SPSS is there. Then the structure equation model also, R is also there, STEM is also there, even SSS is also there. Then make use of this, even Python is also there. We take one, which statistical tools using, and you interpret the data, and based upon to the data you can test it, and based upon the test it accepted or rejected, and come for the inferences, and based upon to that certain conclusions must be derived it. After deriving the certain conclusions, you have to come out with a certain conclusions and suggestions. Definitely we will appreciate your efforts. Then the other one, the presentations, it should be called as a project report writing. It is also Professor Indrakanti Sekhar is going to be taking very elaboratively. What should be the introduction chapter should be there? What should be the theoretical framework? As I mentioned that finance, stock market, what is the stock market, what is the SEBI function, how the control is there. As I mentioned that trade tariff, what is the trade is there, what is the internal trade is there, what is the dumping, and what is the dumping taxes. Likewise, some theoretical background, fundamental background, test knowledge must be there. Again, the focus, third chapter must be methodology. As I shown you that, it could have been shown little bit elaboratively, but I know that you are also be experienced learner many times. You can easily understand that the research methodology should be there. Again, the next fourth and fifth, my predecessor, my successor will going to speak about this. Then the 11th one is, as I mentioned, that others also, like it may be bibliography, it may be, okay, bibliography is also there, reference is also there. Again, my dear students, well, generally, they will ask questions about what is the difference between to the bibliography and reference. A bibliography means just you are listing it, which you touched it. There's a bibliography. A reference means definitely in the text in your project, you have to superscript it. If you superscript it, that should be called as a reference. Properly, you have to mention the reference. For that also, American Psychological Association, APA, and so many citations, references are there. If you spend a little bit more time, definitely you will come out with the wonderful project report. Finally, last slide, madam. Last slide, my dear students. So these are all the new era. The computer is helping. AI is also helping to you. Even to the literature review also. In the literature reviews also take the lot of platforms are available now. The Semistic Scholar. Under the Semistic Scholar, just to go that Semistic Scholar and you type it, whatever the title you want to get the review of literature, that is automatically they are giving. Again, another platform is there, Smart Search. Just to download the app of this Smart Search. The title itself, it is a Smart Search is there. So under that, just you can type whatever the area you want to do, get the some review of literature that is going to be give it. Insight deviation. There is another platform is also there. Just you can browse it, and they are going to give the lot of review of literature is also there. And look about even the science scope is there, our dictionary is also there, our discovery is also there, evidence is there, scaling is also there, consensus is also. These are all platforms. Please, my dear students, please take a snap of this slide. It is going to be help to you that it's going to be help. Totally, it is going to help. Please take this snap. Again, literature mapping is also there. Mapping means you have collected the 100 review of literatures. And coming to this research Robert, if you using about Robert, that itself is mapping. Mapping means which are closely related one. They mean to make it as a closer map, and which are irrelevant is that is a make it as a very distinctive gap. So make use of it. Open knowledge map is also there. VOS viewers is also there. Make use of it. Again, taking notes also. Taking notes also, a lot of software is available. Look about the third point, reading and note taking is also there. Okay, Lumini chart is also there. PDF gram is there. A GLASP is also there. Save day is also there. Again, coming to the data analysis, then take the help of the statistical tool spaces. Apart from that, you can take about the JSP. You can take about the simple ML, machine learning for the sheets is also there. Take the R, as I mentioned, that R visualization, analytical is also there. Again, then anything is there. Bing AI is also there. Bing AI is also one of the platform. If you give the data, that will give the interpretations for that. Again, for that, whatever the data you draw it, for that data, just to go with the charts. You want to develop the charts. Flow charts is also being developed by draw.io. That is also going to develop the charts. Inkscope is also there. Okay, Meta AI is also there. Again, Bing image is also there. For editing is also so many, even the chart GPT is also editing is also there. Okay, Hemingway is also there. There's a lot of platforms. Even the referring about references is also quoting to the reference also Jepito and Mandali in the Jan Ref. So many software platforms are available. Please make use of these software platforms and make it a little bit quality project work. Definitely our entire exercise, entire time will be fruitful, and definitely the Department of Commerce and entire affiliated institutions, if you come out with the original project and different topics, that may be appreciated by the university authorities, and that may be serving our purpose. With this, I thank the organizers. I thank the Kavita Devi madam. Thank you very much. Sekhar, Patrick, Gangadhar, and even Naresh Reddy, and Dean also. And finally, all the faculty members of the affiliated colleges and my dear students. I hope that you got some glimpses of the what is the research design. Thank you very much. Over to the organizers.
Thank you very much, sir, for your academic enrichment.
Thank you, madam.
Students, you having any questions, you can please ask Senior Professor D. Channappa, sir. Students or teachers, you have any queries, kindly ask Senior Professor D. Channappa, sir.
Wonderful presentation.
If you don't have any queries, now I
You
request.
might be, madam, all are sleeping. Just they put up the profile pic and they are enjoying. But
Okay.
my dear,
now
awake, and please learn it. Okay.
We'll go on to next step.
Yeah, 3 not students are there. Then looking about that. Okay, go ahead, madam. Yeah.
Everything
Okay,
is
sir.
clear, sir.
Everything is clear.
Okay.
Very happy.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good. Okay. Now I welcome Professor A. Patrick, sir, Chairman Board of Studies for the second technical session on data analysis.
Can I stop my sharing?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, I stopped my sharing. Unless until I stop, Patrick cannot upload it. Yeah, go ahead, Patrick. Welcome.
Sir. Thank you, Channappa sir, for that wonderful introduction, why research, and got in depth the entire process that he spoke. Am I audible, Kavita ma'am, that I can continue?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Thanks to Channappa sir once again. Thanks to Shekhar sir and all my other colleagues, including Krishna Chaitanya sir, Gangadhar sir. I see 360 odd students and faculty members that were there. I even had a peep into the YouTube link. I don't see many in that. But I don't know if certificate is to be given to make this process mandatory to do the project. Now, what my senior spoke to you, and he said time and again that I'll have to speak on data analytics. So I'll share that part of the talk with you all. So you have decided what your topic is. It's very pertinent that you select the right topic because people have a notion that you can do project work on anything, but it's not on anything. Try relating it with commerce or management, or specific with the commerce is what I would look students to go about with doing your project work from. And when it comes to the three stages that we are into, first, why project? The second thing is about data analytics. Third is about report writing, which my friend and principal of our college, Shekhar sir, will be speaking to you. Without getting much wastage of time, I thought I would straight get into sharing on the topic that is given to me. Hope my screen is visible to you all. So I'm going to talk a little on this hypothesis testing and tools of analysis. I would only tell you all to recall what you have studied in a paper that you had in third semester, which was called RMQT, that is Research Methodology and Quantitative Techniques. So hypothesis and hunch, okay? It's to do with the educated guess. Thesis is final. So we are trying to figure out what we think is right or wrong, and we are trying to use certain tools. So you're collecting data. Sir said about types of research. He used a word called empirical. So we are trying to look into what are this research types and other things there. Okay, anywhere that you do research, let me tell you, if I have to speak it even with the students of arts or engineering or science or medicine also, research is something which is very generic. It remains the same everywhere. There are 8 stages that are there in the research process. One is you identify the problem. And we always tell in research that you don't have to reinvent a wheel. So you have to figure out what is already done in your area. So you'll have to go for reviewing the literature to figure out what is already done. So literature will tell you, if you read any good research article, in the end, they tell scope for further research, limitations. So you got to begin from there. So if you have decided your topic, you try figuring out on your topic or in your area, where else, what research has been conducted till now. So review that part of it. And when you do the literature review, it will give you gaps. Now, those gaps you need to go about with trying to convert into research questions. Now, those questions you need to convert it into objectives. And you want to empirically test those objectives, you'll have to work out what is called as hypothesis, right? And you have to study a specific study design. So whether you're going to do by a survey method, case study method, what do you approach? It's very important. Even sir spoke about what is called a sample design. How do you draw a sample out of a population? Whether you do it by random means or non-random means. And you have to collect the data and you have to process and analyze the data. And you have to write the report. And that report writing part is what my friend would be doing. Remember this? The black oval that you have is a population. And the maroon one that is there is a part of the population, which we are calling it as the subset of the population, which is known as sample. Okay. Now, the information that is related with the sample is called statistic. And whatever detail that you have over the population, we call it the parameter. Now, what are that details? The details can be mean, proportion, it can be variance, it can be standard deviation, it can be regression, it can be correlation, whatever things that are there. And we have symbols. If it is number of cases or size, for population, we say capital N. For sample, we say small n. For mean, we say mu for population and x bar for sample. For proportion, we say small p or pi, and we say capital P for population actually. Now, variance, we say is square of standard deviation, but we don't use the sigma symbol in sample. Instead, we say S, which stands for standard error. So for correlation, it is rho, and R if it is sample correlation, and beta if it is regression, and small b if it is to do with sample. Now, if you're aware of these symbols, we go about with working out all of it. So this is what our teacher also was saying on what are the various sampling methods, but I would focus on what should be your sample size. So here we say there should be a population which is very heterogeneous, what you go about studying and other thing, but I'm more concerned about the sample size. So here what I would tell you is the population size and the margin of error. You know, we talk about type 1 error, type 2 error, what Chenaba sir also said. Now, type 1 error is where the hypothesis is right and you reject it. We denote it with the Greek notation alpha. And when the null hypothesis is wrong and we accept it, it is called type 2 error and we denote it with a Greek notation called beta. Now you look at something very familiar kind of a thing which happens here, that when we take 5% and confidence level is 95, where we say chances of committing type 1 error is 5%, you'll see that as we go, if the sample size is 100, you have to study 80 as a sample, 500, 217, 1000 if the sample size is 278, if it is 10,000, 370. If it is 1 lakh, it is 384. If it is 5 lakh, it is 384. If it is 10 lakhs also, it is 384. All right. Now, this is something what we do at a PhD level. But I'll tell you nothing wrong if you can do it even at a MCOM project level, because size will have an impact on your outcome, on your findings, what kind of tools you use. Because, you know, if we go about with working out whether the data is normal or not, we talk about parametric tests. And if the data is not normal, we have to use what is called as a non-parametric test. There is some statistical packages which are readily available. Let us say this, which is called as a Qualtrics, not Quillbot. It is qualtrics.com, which tells you what should be the sample size. So I can alter this confidence level. I have a population size. I can alter the margin of error 5%, 1%, 10%. Now you look at it, I've kept it as 95%. I've taken the screenshots and embedded it into this PowerPoint presentation that I have. So here, if I take it as 95% and this I take it as 10,000, so it says I should study a sample of 370. Now just look at it. What I have done is that 10,000, I made it as 1 lakh, and it says that I have to study a sample of 383. Now, if I make it 10 lakhs, add another zero to it, then it still says I have to study. So, you know, if the population is infinite, the sample size is around 384. So this is about giving a justification at BCom honors or MCom level. I find students take some odd size, they say 100. When I ask them why 100, they don't have a justification or a reason as to why they have selected the sample size to be 100. Now we look at a research cycle. It has got 4 phases in it. It is called observation, hypothesis, experimentation, and conclusion. So hypothesis is something wherein we say it may be right or it may be wrong. We talk about null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. Null is about status quo, no change, no impact kind of a thing. Alternate hypothesis is always about the antithesis, or it is against the null hypothesis, or it challenges the null hypothesis. And we do an experimentation to figure out whether we accept the null or reject. From what we conclude, somebody sees something or observes something, and the cycle will continue. And that is what we call it as the research cycle. Now, in the experimentation, there are 2 approaches that are there. One is called as deductive and other is called inductive. Now, what happens in the deductive kind of a thing is we say that we study the entire population and we talk about a single unit. So we move from what is called a general to particular, right? And when you do an inductive, what we're doing is we're going from particular to general. We study a small part of the population and we say what holds good for the sample holds good for the entire population. Now, this is called inductive, and most often your project will involve this. And these are the different phases wherein you formulate a problem. You know, I like this Telugu way of putting it, where it says samasyan ardham cheskunte sagam varaku parishkaram dorikinatlu. A problem well understood is half solved. So you have to formulate the problem. You have to do extensive literature review. You'll have to develop a hypothesis. You have to prepare a research design. You have to determine the sample size. You have to collect the data. You'll have to execute. You'll have to analyze the data, do the hypothesis testing, do the generalization interpretation. Ultimately, you'll be doing the report. So there are 2 things that you have that people will test you. They will ask you how you did. That will be the viva voce. And you'll have to put whatever you have done, you have to put it on paper. It is not enough that you have it in your head, but you have to put it on paper and present it in a print form. And that is what is this report part, very crucial. And that is what our Shekhar sir will be speaking to you about. Okay. And then I'm little concerned, like, what concept, what indicators, what, even if you say somebody is rich in terms of what they possess or their income levels. I mean, if it is income level, if someone is doing very well in academics, what do you mean by that? If you say health program is effective, what do you mean by that? How do you measure it? Now, this is very important. And I'm also keen on telling, Channappa sir also conveyed this. How do you convey or convert those gaps into objectives? I normally find, even if it is PhD, I've seen people using words like to study, to understand, to explain, to know. Such kind of words don't stand good when you decide your objectives. I'll just tell you what words should actually be used. The action verbs got to be to examine, to analyze, to determine, to explore, to evaluate, to assess, to estimate, to identify, to compare, to establish. These are the words that you got to use in your objectives. And the words you shouldn't be using is to find, to study, to understand, to know, to explain, to suggest. These are not words which got to get into your objectives. So I don't want to get much into it. Now, what is this hypothesis testing? I tried telling here what is this type 1 error and type 2 error. So I would only take the steps wherein you try writing it in short, crisp sentences, what is null and alternate. And you have to select an appropriate test. That is what I am here for. That is whether you do a parametric or non-parametric. Please understand this. If you are selecting a sample out of a population, and we know the population characteristics in terms of its size, its standard deviation, mean, proportion, and all the details we know in advance. And on such a sample, if I work out the various statistical tools, I call it the parametric test. Now I have a sample, but I don't know to which population it belongs. On such a sample, if I work out statistical tools, it is called as the non-parametric tests that are there. So normally we talk about chi-square test. That is what you studied in your RM QT as well. Then we talk about the t-test, z-test, ANOVA. Now these are called as the parametric tests that are there. And I've told you what is level of significance. It is the chances of committing a type 1 error. That is the hypothesis being right and you reject it, right? And you collect the data and you determine the probability and other things there. And if the calculated value is more than the critical value, the table value, or what you call it a p-value, if you use Excel, SPSS or whatever. So if it is more than that, we say we reject the null. And if it is less than that, we say we accept the null hypothesis. So we have to formulate and look at this part. This chart, if you can look very carefully, wherein you're talking about the hypothesis being correct and you reject it. They call it the type 1 error. Hypothesis being false and you accept it. Fail to reject is nothing but accept. You call it the type 2 error that you have. Okay. And okay, this is something which gives you an example. I mean, if you see that a person is actually good there, he's not found guilty, but unjustly he's been convicted. But a guilty person is said that he's left free. No, there is no evidence. I mean, those kind of things come under type 2 error. And so I tried telling you what is type 1, type 2. So I told about this level of significance also. So 5% is nothing but 5 divided by 100. So when you remove the 5, it is 95 out of 100. That is how you look at. So test statistic, when you look at, we talk about z-test, t-test, ANOVA, which is F, and chi-square, and other things which are there. I want you to look carefully. Maybe by mistake in this chart, you have chi-square and both. Under parametric test, we don't have chi-square. We have a 1 sample test and we have 2 sample tests. It could be a t-test or z-test. Z-test is of 5 types: difference between sample mean and population mean, difference between 2 sample means, difference between sample proportion and population proportion, difference between 2 sample proportions, or it could be to do between 2 standard errors. So there we look at it. And how do you take the sample out of a population? Like, we talk about independent and dependent. Drawing a sample of a population, if it is influenced by my earlier results.
So to our question.
Go ahead. Ask me if you have a question. If you have a question, you're free to ask. Your voice is cracking, ma. Others, please put your speakers on mute there. There's somebody said they have a doubt. Let them ask. Go ahead, ma. Whoever it is. Okay, if you don't ask, let me continue. Now, the thing is, the crux is if the sample size is less than 30, we call it t-test. When it is more than 30, we use z-set. I told you what is parametric. If you know the the parent population characteristics and the sample is drawn out of that, and we apply statistical tools on that sample, we call it parametric test. We don't know the parent population characteristics. And on such samples, if you are applying statistical tools, we call it the non-parametric test. So we have Mann-Whitney, Kruskal-Wallis, sign test, Wilcoxon, McNamara, chi-square. And here we call it paired t-test, before and after. You have studied this in your course there. Now, what is this one tail and two tail? Maybe you have studied this also in RMSA. Now, it is called with direction, without direction. The way you are stating your hypothesis, if it is a neutral word, we will say it is to do with a two-tailed test. But if we say positive and negative connoting words, let's say increase, higher, better, improved, I call it as a right tail test. If I say left tail, I say worst, bad, poor, less, shorter, those kind of words come in. Then I call for what is called as a left tail test. Now, this is where it is. Now, what happens is that 5% which we have for the alpha value, which is level of significance, it gets divided into two parts. If it is a two-tailed test, it will be 2.5% on the right side and 2.5% on the left side. Now, this is a two-tailed test. Now, if it is to do with this, you remember you have done it in your MPOM also, plus or minus 1.96, plus or minus 2.58. And we didn't do anything much with the 3.30. And we talk about this level to be the critical value at 1.96. Anything beyond this, it falls wherein, whether it's right or left, it falls in the rejection region. So if the value is more than 1.96 plus or less than minus 1.96, we reject the null hypothesis and we accept the alternate hypothesis. So there could be this one tail tests that are there. So there is the two tail. So we use the null hypothesis equal to and alternate hypothesis not equal to. But if it is a right tail test, look at it, we use the symbol of greater than equal to. If it is a left tail test, we use the symbol of less than equal to. All right. That's one part that you'll have to remember. So look at it. Left tail is usually that less than symbol. Right tail is greater than symbol in the alternate hypothesis, and equal to and not equal to in the alternate hypothesis for a two-tail test. So I told what is one tail, two tail. So you would do some things. It depends. Today, if you're working it out with your statistical packages, like even you can go for Excel to go about doing it to a great deal. Now, I get into talking more about data analysis. I'll share this entire PPT with Kavita ma'am with some ebooks also. So she will share it in some of the groups and it can be used by the students. So we talk about, you study the entire phenomenon and you're trying to get that study summarized with a single value. We call it the univariate. And if we do it by two values, we call it bivariate. And if it is more than two values, we call it multivariate, right? There's one more chart which goes about telling how do I look at statistical analysis if I'm going for descriptive or if I'm going for inferential. Now, whatever you've studied in your degree, that is measures of central tendency, measures of dispersion, kurtosis, skewness, moments, index numbers, maybe time series regression, we study it at a later level. But when it comes for z-test, t-test, ANOVA, chi-square, now this comes in the inferential statistics part. So look at this again. How do we do it? Out of a population, we take a small sample, we analyze it in detail, and whatever results we got for the sample, we say it holds good for the entire population. That is where we are drawing an inference about the population based on the results of the sample. And this is what we call it as generalization as well. So if you're talking about age, gender, income, this is all one variable. But when we talk about two variables, I mean CGPA and SGPA, there could be several variables which could be studying. One at a time I look, two at a time I look, gender and CGPA, whether the girls have performed well or boys have performed well, or I take more than two variables and study, then I call it as a multivariate analysis. Now my objectives, what I said a little while ago also, there can be descriptive in nature, they can be correlational, they can be explanatory, or they can be exploratory. It can come in any of these four formats. So you'll have to decide about your data analysis based on this. So again, I come back to tell you the steps that are there in research. What you find on this slide is the fourth point and the sixth point are same. That is to draw your attention that when you're doing your research design itself, you have to decide what tools of analysis you have to use. And it is not after you collect the data, you start groping for what tools you will use, or you'll ask a teacher, how do I go about? Right? Now you'll have to look for classification of data. If you're collecting data for the very first time to meet your requirement, to meet your objective hypothesis, you call it primary. Collected by somebody else, if you're trying to fine tune to your requirement, you call that to be the secondary data. Now look at this. You have the personal interview, mail, in-house, administered, telephone, fax, and all, they come under primary. Now the qualitative is focus group, individual depth, human observation, case study. Now qualitative will not have numbers, quantitative will have numbers in it. Now, if you read Naresh Malhotra, Marketing Research, I'll share that book also. It's very beautiful. If you want to go about with measuring, if you want to give an empirical value to your questions and other things, it's important that you understand what is called as scaling technique. Let us say Kavita ma'am, at the end of my session, would like to ask, how did Patrick speak to you all? She will put it on a point scale of 5 and she'll say, do you strongly agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree? So from strongly agree, I'll start with 5 points. To strongly disagree, I'll end with 1 point. This is called Likert scale. Okay, semantic differential is when I use opposite words that are there. Were the 3 sessions boring or interesting? Whether it added value or it wasted your time, those kind of things will come in. Staple scale is a 10-point scale. So continuous you have Pew sort and all these things there. And more than anything, I'm more keen on asking you to understand like discrete and continuous. What is the difference? Discrete is you don't have any decimal values. And for continuous, you'll have decimal values. Now, whether you can express things in numbers or you can't express it in numbers. If I say someone is honest, someone is truthful, someone is a very good person, someone is a handsome person, some girl is beautiful. How do you rate it? How do you put it in numbers? So these come under qualitative. Beautiful or ugly. Handsome or not. Honest or dishonest. Truthful or a liar. So I don't have anything else to do there. So when I represent things in the form of a number, I call it quantitative. And things which I can't measure, I call it attribute. Things I can measure and express in numbers, I call it as a variable. Numbers, you'll have to know, not all numbers are the same. Now, Virat Kohli plays for India. He wears a jersey of 18. Dhoni wears 7. Tendulkar wears 10. These are numbers. You all have all ticket numbers. You have your roll numbers in the class. This is all meant for your identification. And ordinal is ranking. Where do you stand? Rank will not give you much thing. It will only tell about the position. Now, I open the paper these days. I look for what is the maximum temperature, minimum temperature that was there yesterday. If I look into a Deccan Chronicle paper, so I can do the difference. I can find the average. Nothing more than that I can study. So when I have such kind of numbers, I call it interval. So those numbers with which I can do all mathematical operations, I call that to be as the ratio. So look at it. When you look at what I'm trying to study, nominal, what are the common examples? What are the marketing examples? How do I study it if it were to be descriptive, if it were to be inferential statistics? So when I share this slide, you can look that into more detail. How do I classify the variables? If it is qualitative or it is quantitative. If it is quantitative, it got to be ordinal, it got to be discrete, or it is continuous. If it is continuous, it will be ratio or interval. So what do we mean by analyzing data? We are trying to summarize the data. We are trying to find relationship between the variables. We are trying to find the difference between the variables. Based on whatever results we have got, we are trying to forecast the outcome. There are a lot of things. So some people try telling us big words to impress. They may use a lot of jargon to confuse. So analysis is something which comes at the end of data collection, and quantitative analysis considered to be the most important, need not be. There could be some limitations and other things. Data has its own meaning. Data does not have meaning. Data must be processed through software or Excel and other things to draw meaningful interpretations. And it has got its own limitations. Not always computer is better off. You can do small calculation by using a calculator as well. Now, what kind of analysis are we looking for if you look for? Now, do you want to know how many individuals have checked in? Now, I had a look into the Zoom meeting. It said when I looked at it last, it was 362 people were there. Shekhar sir very well planned. We thought 500 would accommodate, and if it exceeds 500, we will go for what is called the YouTube link as well. I'm looking for frequency. Now 43 colleges are there. The total strength of MCOM is around 500. So out of 500, 362 are attending. So it is 362 divided by 500 into 100. So it will give me the percentage. And what is the mean score? What is the median? The middle value which divides the entire distribution into two equal halves. Now, can I go about looking at whether the girls understood the session better, boys understood the session better, or people belong to another gender or others category, they had understood the lesson better? I mean, I go for cross tabs. Sometimes you have demographic questions, income level, age, what position you work in, and people don't do anything beyond that. So if you can, within the data, you can go about with segregating based on age, do they differ, based on income level, based on occupation, based on caste, based on which place, whether they come from rural, urban or suburban, where their answers will vary. So there I look for cross tabs, right? So how things move from the mean measures of central tendency, we call it the standard deviation. Now the computer will not select the statistical tool. You will have to select the statistical tool. Shravan, you have a doubt? Okay. So you'll have to look for how you choose. So you'll have to ask a few questions as to what are the scales of measurement, because that will decide. Let me tell you, I said nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio. Nominal and ordinal, they will use non-parametric tests. Interval and ratio will use what is called as parametric tests. There's a scale which will decide which two. Which hypothesis is being tested? Is it for difference? What kind of test do you go about looking at? And how many sets of measures are there? Is it one set, two sets? That's where you talk about univariate, bivariate, and multivariate. And how do you choose a variable? What is your goal? Whether you want to measure relationship or association. So I said nominal, ordinal are called qualitative. Interval and ratio are called quantitative. They include numbers. So look at it. What is nominal? Simple things like gender, male, female, race, whether you have a tumor or not, whether you're alive or not. These things come in it. Ordinal, what stage of cancer is it? What pain rating? And I've been to our health center. I had some problem with my knee. And he asked me, how much does it pain? If I ask you to put it on a scale of 10, where do you rate it? I told you Likert scale. It is a 5-point scale, starting with strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree. Now that is coming in the ordinal part of it. Interval, I tried telling temperature in Celsius. You can only add or subtract. You cannot multiply and divide the interval values. And they are number wise, they're quantitative. Now ratio, it has got a true zero. You can add, subtract, multiply, divide. You can do all mathematical applications, including square root. So it can come in the form of an age, body weight, body pressure, length of stay in hospital, operating room rent, time. A lot of these things come in there. So I said that nominal and ordinal normally relate with what is called as the non-parametric test, and interval and ratio lead to parametric test. By now I have told you that parametric, we have Z-test, T-test, ANOVA. Then we have the chi-square, man-Whitney U-test, Kruskal-Wallis test, McNamara test. They are all the non-parametric tests. So there are two branches of statistics. I said about descriptive and inferential. Okay, so when you talk about frequencies, percentages, measure of the middle value, right? You call it median, measures of variation. So we said inference. Will you kindly put your speaker on mute, ma? Another few minutes, I'll wind up. So you have inferential, which is to do with non-parametric and the parametric test part. So I said, okay. So under qualitative, we talk about nominal, ordinal, binary, when you say true or false, pass or fail, when you have such kind of questions there. So under quantitative, we have two sets, which is discrete, which is without decimals, and continuous, which has got decimals in that. So types of variables, they can be continuous or they can be categorical. Continuous, they can go in more than one group, but categorical, it goes into a few groups only. Okay, I don't want to talk much. You could look into what the differences are. Scales that I use. And let me come back to the tools that we use. If the nature is nominal, we can only identify. There is number, but you can only, it's meant for recognition or identification. We use nominal. If you can put it into ranks, that is where we talk about ordinal, the non-parametric. Interval, if it is, we say about parametric and non-parametric part of it there. So we have these parametric and non-parametric. We have a list here. As students, I wish that you go through this PPT. They have one sample t-test and you have Wilcoxon sign track, non-parametric t-test. So you have a paired t-test, we say sign test, a Wilcoxon. And unpaired, we talk about Kolmogorov-Smirnov or Mann-Whitney. ANOVA, you may do on parametric, and you have Kruskal-Wallis, Jockeri test, Friedman test. We talk about Pearson, then you have a Spearman rank correlation. Then the other things that I wanted to share with you is, if you're doing it through Excel or something, you get your answer in these values, which are called as p-value, which is nothing but probability. So if your answer is less than 0.01, the result is highly significant. We say that reject null hypothesis. We say that reject null hypothesis, right? If it is between 0.01, between 0.05, result is significant, it's a reject. But if it is greater than 0.05, the result is not significant and we do not reject the null hypothesis. So remember about this p-value also. So here even it talks about if you're working out graphs, how to use categorical data, where to use continuous, and other things that what kind of graphs are needed, when to use a bar chart, when to use a line chart, a histogram, or a pie chart. You must know these details. Now, these are another thing. If you look at it, this is something which is nice. If you depict whatever data you get, if it comes in the form of a normal distribution, maybe you can use the parametric test. But if you get non-normal, there is skew or skewness, as we say, then you will use these two. These are equivalent, right? This is normal and this is for non-normal. That is, if it is skewed data that you get there. So I'm talking about what tools will you select and how do you work out. I think going back there. Yeah, if it is nominal data, I have these summary tools that you use there. The nature of data is nominal, that is qualitative, hypothesis for difference or for association. Remember, you have your chi-square test, wherein if things can't be measured in quantitative, we only, if the marks you got in finance to the marks you got in RMQT. So we talk about what is known as correlation. Okay. Now, is it gender and passing? Now, that is something I can't measure gender. So I can only tell you're a male or a female. So who performed better? Boys performed, girl performed. There I can't find by correlation, but I use a word called association. So here we'll have to look for sample selection, whether it's independent or dependent. When my selection of the sample depends on my earlier sample selection, that is called dependent. If it doesn't depend, I call it independent. So there is chi-square, there's McNamara, then there's coefficient of contingency. These are some of the methods that you have here. Same thing for ordinal. This is for ranked data that you have, wherein it depends on whether two measures are there or what. Two measures, and if it is selection, and if it is to do with the independent and dependent part. Hypothesis for Spearman rank. So in the end, you see, if there are two measures, you talk about a Mann-Whitney U test. If there are more than two measures, you call for a Kruskal valence. It's actually the ANOVA equivalent that you have. So we'll talk about Wilcoxon T and Friedman ANOVA if the nature of the data is ordinal. And then if it is interval, you have independent T, ANOVA, paired T, Pearson, and other things there. Then if the nature of data is to do with the ratio, how do you do it? All tests would come in more there. So you'll have to look for whether it has been tested, right? Hypothesis that you have. I won't go much into the other things. So you'll have to look at test of association, whether it is for means or proportions. Test of differences are for means or proportions. Some more charts to tell you how you understand it. Yeah, I think if it is coming here, hypothesis testing, parametric test, one sample and two sample, you have paired and unpaired, and non-parametric, chi-square, man-with-me test, Kruskal valence, Kolmogorov, Smirnov, sign test, those things come in the non-parametric. Even Excel can help you in doing that. So when you're talking about a very large scale things, a lot of factors are there, then we do multivariate analysis. So there are certain things that you have under this, like where do I use a factor analysis, or where do I use a cluster analysis, conjoint analysis, multidimensional scaling. Now, these things follow certain rules. May not be that you would do it at an MCOM level, but it is nice if you can learn it. Nothing wrong with that part of it there. So if there are multiple factors, you do a factor analysis. Yeah, this is more about telling you in for what are the different tools that you use, or based on the nature of data, based on the hypothesis, how you go about with selecting. Okay. So this is where I would stop. My time given was up to 11:50. There are 3 more minutes or 5 minutes around. I rushed through a few slides. I'll stop my presentation here. And if there are any questions I can get from students, I will take it here. You can either put it in the chat, or you could go about with asking me. You can unmute and ask. And I'll leave it to my friend Shekhar sir if there are no questions coming. Thank you, Kavita ma'am, for the opportunity to do this session.
Thank you very much, sir, for pouring your knowledge. Now, I request, it's my honor to invite Professor Indrakanti Shekhar, Principal of University College of Commerce and Business Management, Usman University. Professor Indrakanti Shekhar, Department of Commerce, Principal of University College of Commerce and Business Management, Usman University, Hyderabad. This is a qualification MCOM, MBA, LLB, PhD, and PG Diploma in Computer Application. He has 24 years of teaching experience. His teaching specialization in accounting, taxation, and e-commerce. Under his supervision, 3 PhDs were awarded and 6 PhDs are undergoing. He is a subject expert and resource person for many institutions, including UGC, HRDC, state government, College of Education, and State Government Social Welfare and Tribal Welfare and Intermediate Board of Education. He was awarded a Professor of the Commerce for the year 2018 by the Tutorial Pride Hyderabad and the Ideal Teaching Award 2018. He published 38 articles in national and international journals. He presented 54 research papers in national and international seminars. He has published 4 books. He is a member of editorial board of Manjeera Journal of Research in Social Sciences, Government Degree College, Zahirabad. He is also an executive committee member of Indian Accounting Association and Telangana Commerce Association. He is the treasurer, All India Accounting Association, Hyderabad branch. He is a member of the Bar Council of Hyderabad and the Usman University Teachers Association. He was an additional controller of the examination. He has been rendering service as a placement coordinator for the last 10 years. I welcome you, sir, for the technical session 3 as an expert on report writing.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Is my voice audible?
A little bit weak, sir.
Is it now clear?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Kavita, ma'am. I'm just
Thank you.
Opening my
video.
really it's what
Experience. The last 2 years we are working in these type of stuff. for the benefit of income students. At the outset, okay, congratulate the previous speaker, the same person, for the service, and the department. And the team of the service and the top, the delivery of the two technicians in the two. The intended, which we have received from the green noise, the register of
Shekhar Anna, you're not audible.
Is it clear now?
No. There is some problem, I think, with that ear cord. Adjust it and speak, please.
Maybe is it clear now?
No, Anna, it's very low.
Previously it was taken.
Go on, Anna, continue.
So maybe it's clear. Yeah, it's getting improved.
No, Anna, it's not audible. It's not audible. Or remove the wire, unplug and plug in again. Yeah, someone from the office can help sir in adjusting the audio part, please. Please fix it. Better, Anna, but not very high. It's still low.
Is it heardable now?
Better.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I will. Yeah, if it's my voice is good, I will continue with this.
Now it's better, Anna. Go on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So thank you one and all who are the people joined in this group, MCOM people, the students and faculty members from the different colleges. We need to understand how the project work is given by the MCOM people. Nowadays, as the previous speakers have already mentioned, somebody wants to do something intentionally, sometimes unintentionally they are doing. Intentionally they are copying from their friends, sometimes intentionally, sometimes they are making it siblings and some other ways. So that should not be happen. Our intention is definitely it should be. It should be made our project report doing. That is the main objective of making this workshop. MCOM students will have summer vacation from 1st May onwards. During this month, MCOM students can complete maybe 50% of your data collection, 50% of project preparation and everything. So that is the reason why we started this workshop before the vacation period. Then tomorrow onwards, when you are having the vacation, please be contact with your supervisor and do your live project. So what is live project? It is not existing, it is taking a new exceptional information from the data. Is it clear? My voice is clear?
Sir.
Audible or not?
You have to speak a bit louder, Anna. Get closer and speak a little louder.
Clear what happened? The speaker is very nearer to me. Is it clear now? I think now it's clear.
It's clear.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Clear, sir.
I will continue with this because once I am opening video, sometimes it's getting the audio problem. Anyhow, I am going to share one PPT for the topic which was allotted to me, that is project report preparation, report writing. So before going to PPT, we need to understand these important issues, two issues. One is in summer vacation, how to make this project report. Another one is the people who are doing this project, sometimes understanding whether it is required or not. Somebody is talking about MCOM project is required or not. Some people are commenting these reports unnecessarily doing and making all the copy from the different sources like siblings and some other seniors, some other source. So it should not be done like that because it is a specialization of MCOM students. Definitely you have to do your own projects. It should be the specialization of your own. That means tomorrow if you complete MCOM, you should say, this is my original work, this is my specialization, which I completed my MCOM post-graduation with this particular subject. So that is the reason we are all making this workshop purposefully to the students who can understand the project and they can show their project as a specialization. That is the main objective. Once you complete this project, you can understand what exactly your position and your specialization, which you can face in the competitive examination or maybe further education. Or if you go for research work, definitely you have to be understand what exactly the project work. From the project work, you can develop your research skills, you can develop your project skills, not only for higher education, definitely if you go for any jobs, nowadays everybody is asking for the work under the project. So what exactly this? If you take into the private jobs, definitely you have to work under the group. If you take into the group, maybe government jobs, definitely you have to perform one particular task. For example, if you take government employees, they are going for the election duty to start from the initial days to completion of election and reporting to the district collector. So these are all the formats you have to fill up. So once you are fill up, definitely, so that exactly we are showing as a project. So any task is given for the people who are working, definitely we should understand what exactly the project work in different categories of government and non-government. So everywhere if you go, next placement is definitely you have to work for one particular project under one particular group. So that is the reason an MCOM student should have the project skills definitely. If you have a project skills, then this will be given more skill enhancement for your job, and if you do somewhere in the higher education anything, it will be gives you a better quality and a better knowledge for doing your job. For that, maybe previous sessions it was given, Senior Professor D. Channappa is explained very clearly how to make the selection of topics and how to do the pro forma design of project. And another session, Professor Patrick is given a very clear idea that the data analysis, data conclusion, how to make the statistical tools efficient. Now, after taking these two inputs, let us move on to the complete project report preparation. So let us go into that. Now I'm going to share my screen. I think it is visible to everyone. Please, any one of you, please respond. Is it visible? Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we are going to share the PPT. Once PPT is open, one of you please confirm. No, others don't talk, please. When you are talking, please check your mic whether it is mute or not. Is my PPT is visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Excellent, excellent. We'll go on to this. As we have already discussed, what is exactly the project report? As the previous speakers already given, selection of topic. Once topic is selected, you have to go for review of literature. Generally, we are taking two important research studies. As I am already mentioned, one is research, one is studies. Generally, undergraduate, is my voice is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, undergraduate student should follow the research skill as a study. You have to prepare report as a study, not research. Okay. Then post-graduation people will make it this particular project as a dissertation, like MTech people, MCom people, MBA people, everybody is submitting post-graduation level. You should use as also study, because generally research will take 1 decade data, 10 years data. So we are not going to take 10 years data. We are just making comparison of 2 annual reports or one particular concept with the perceptual data. So definitely these type of data when we are collecting and presenting is called study, not research. Okay. But even for UG, even for PG, even for PhD, the research will be like this. But instead of research, your report, you can put it as study. Okay. But by way of understanding the research issues, we are using instead of study somewhere in the research. That you have to underline. Wherever we are using research, you have to put it as study in your project report. So let it be, whether it is study or research, what it could be, the selection of topic already Senior Professor Chanapasari is already explained. And once topic is selected, some disturbance is there. If once topic is selected, you should go for reviewing the topic. That means already somebody has already done some reports, already have done already project reports, somebody in PhD, somebody in some other articles, you have to review that. Earlier it was a big task to review, but now it is a very good platform which you can review the things. Which you can review the issues, definitely. That reviews, definitely, we can take it from the internet source. We have SourceGanga, we have many other platforms which you can collect the information. So once you are getting information, that information you have to match with your report. So let us enter, please. So once you are getting that reviews which are relevant to your project, you have to write all the reviews in the PG level, at least 10 to 20 reviews you have to make it, which are concerned to your topic. Once your topic is concerned to so-and-so reviews, you have to identify out of 10 reviews, which review is very close to your report. Then you have to identify the gaps. Of course, it is close to your project, but you have to identify the time, because it was done up to 2021, 22, 23, but your report is 24, maybe 25 years. That is the date gap. Sometimes somebody have done in some other city, now you are doing in Hyderabad city. This is second gap, time gap, area gap. And somebody has done some financial analysis, you are doing some other HR analysis. Of course, it is relevant to you, it is relating to your topic, your title, but your study, your analysis should be different. So that is the main objective of taking the review of literature, that in your PG project report, you can write it as review of studies. Whatever studies have already completed, that review of studies you can take up and you have to write the gap. Once gap is identified, easily you can identify the objectives. Objectives, once it is identified, maybe not more than 4 or 5, you can make it at least 3. 2 is enough for sometimes 2 or 3 or 4 is enough. That's all. Don't beyond the 5 objectives, so that if you write 5 objectives, you have to justify every objective, and every objective should contain each chapter, and the number of pages of your project increases just like a PhD. That's the reason we are advising, just make it objective. Just I want to do this so and so subject, making objectives like this, you can write it. This study is going to study so and so items as per the objectives framed. So one objective is to study so and so topic, to review so and so topic, to find out so and so topic, to examine so and so topic. That is first objective. The second objective, there will be analysis of this so and so topic is enough. So somebody is writing to suggest. Suggest is not major idea for a project. Suggestion is not at all the your study. Your study is to find something, to make something, to conclude something. Suggestion is optional. So that is the reason your objective should be 2 or 4. So this is one important issue. So once your research methodology is completed, you can write a review of literature, gap of the study, objective of the study, research methodology. In the research methodology, what type of research you are doing and what type of your research question, what type of your data collection, what type of your hypothesis. These are all comes into the generally second chapter. Second chapter is research methodology. Generally, people are making in the PhD, but we have very less pages. You can include this research methodology into the first chapter. The first chapter, you can just understand, because when we are writing the project report, there should be a 4 chapters standard. If you want to increase 5, 6, that is up to you. But generally, minimum, if you write 4 chapters, each containing 10 pages, 4 chapters into 10, 40 pages project report, a live project is enough. How to write these 40 pages? The 10 pages are introduction, review of literature, research methodology, everything. That will be first chapter, 10 pages. And next chapter, second chapter, the framework of the so-and-so company, profile of the company, or the concept of second chapter, concept of so-and-so company, or maybe something about theoretical framework. So I told you clearly in the second chapter, the profile, theoretical framework, the conceptual study should be taken into second chapter. So introduction, the scientific research, methodology, everything we are putting into the first chapter. Second chapter, we are taking a company name, company profile, concept profile, some theoretical profile, we should be putting in the second chapter. So this is also another 10 pages. First chapter is 10 pages, second chapter is 10 pages. First chapter title is Introduction and Research Methodology. If you want, you can keep, otherwise only introduction is enough. First chapter. Second chapter, as I told, as per your data collection, if it is primary, you have to put it, or if it is secondary, you have to put it some other title for the second chapter. That means maybe profile of the company, maybe the conceptual study, maybe a theoretical study, each type based on your data, title will be made for this second. Okay, let us go into the third chapter. Third chapter is the data analysis. And once your data is collected, the data analysis, but directly don't put data analysis in the chapter name. So you have to put it 2 companies comparison, for example. So instead of data analysis, you can put the third chapter title is the comparative study of 2 companies, comparative study of Maruti and the Tata company. So that itself is a data analysis. Or if you want to get the data from the perceptual study, so that is the new perception of the individuals. You are sending Google Forms to different people. So somebody asked me, sir, Google Form is standard. Of course, it is not. If it is considerable, but the thing is, where you are sending is very important. You can collect the data from Google Form, but the people who are not your classmates, not your organization, you collect the data scientifically from different sources. You send the Google Form into different personalities, different age group people. So that is the reason, definitely, Google Form can send, data can be collected. It should be made into third chapter. So third chapter may be comparison, analysis, SWOT analysis, or maybe the perception of so-and-so people, perception of so-and-so concept, perception of so-and-so brand, you can put it. That is the third chapter, 10 pages. After that, finally, last 10 pages, fourth chapter, generally, it will be the suggestions, findings, suggestions, conclusions. You have to find something out of your data, out of your theoretical framework, out of your research, which is mentioned in the first chapter, second chapter, third chapter, introduction chapter, and theoretical framework, and data analysis. From these 3 chapters, you have to conclude in the 4th chapter, which was finding from so-and-so chapter. It can be understand very easily. These are all the some findings. You have to find something which are in the tables, which are in the data analysis. Once findings are over, then you can come to the conclusion how these findings are concluded for your project. Then if you want suggestions, you can give it. Suggestions, if it is necessary, you can give it. Otherwise, leave it. So here findings important, conclusions important. But somebody is writing findings without the data support, without the project support. They are writing outside information. Don't write outside information. Don't write your own perceptual information. Don't thought of you are the thinker of so and so topic and I can write my own suggestion. Don't write that. How data is representing, based on data, you should write the findings. So findings are major important for UG and PG students, particularly the PG students can write the findings using with the technical tools what Professor Patrick is explained, that the data analysis based on chi-square test, z-test, t-test, whatever tools you are using, based on that how the data is presented, how the data is analyzed, how the data is giving conclusion. So that information we have to write into the course chapter. So based on the tables, based on the graphs, based on the so-and-so analysis, the data presenting, these are all findings. The data presenting, these are all conclusions. The data presenting some of the suggestions. Like this, fourth chapter you can write to 10 pages. So this can be improved for your PhD also. We are every time telling in the seminars, students should write suggestion findings out of your data, out of your analysis, out of your collection of information, but they are writing their own perceptual information. Very bad sometimes. Sitting in the PhD seminar, we are advising the people you should not do that. Once you are understanding in the PG level how to write this information, you can easily write in the PhD also. So here is missing gap is you are not doing properly project in the MCOM. You are not understanding research methodology in the MCOM. That is the reason why the people are not doing PhDs, further studies, MP, maybe in the government, non-government organization, when you are doing job, your analysis is not good. Your data is not good. Your findings are not. These are all the default. When you are not doing your project properly, these are all findings. That is the reason. We understand, be clear, you have to make 4 important.
No.
Somebody is asking something, but not now. Let me complete all the things so that we'll go. The people who are hosting this, please check all the people who are speaking, who are unmute, who are open their videos, please check, control them. And this is major important issue which we can write the project report with 4 chapters. Let us go into the in-depth. What are the main important issues of this particular page? So we have topic selection, which was already explained by the Channappa sir, and the data collection and analysis, which Professor Patrick also explained. Then this is my topic, report writing, which we have discussed this one. The tips to how to generate your project study reports, which sir is already explained. Just I want to brief because some people have not attended by that time. Review your notes in your major subjects. Ask your supervisor, or if he needs to research assistant or something, and brainstorm with classmates, friends, because they are a good resource for doing the project. Read scientific literature to identify your topics. Visit the workplaces of those who are graduated in your field. Join research groups. Yesterday, my MCOM student have joined in the All India Accounting Association workshop, which was seminar, which was conducted in Keshav Memorial. I really happy that students have understand how the seminars are going on, how the topics are selected. So that is one platform which we can see the joining research groups. Then visit marginalized communities which are commerce, which are accounting, which are finance, which are chartered accountant, which are something relevant to you that you have to interact with them so that you can get some ideas to select your topic. And you can do all these remaining things, find a need and construct a problem tree and senior projects are some, you can just search it, no, don't copy it. And business media, something. And this is actually research cycle. You have to observe something. You have to select some information. You have to identify the data. You have to take your topic selection. This is all comes under observation. So you are observing to select the topic. You are understanding some issues to select the topic. So something, these are all comes under the observation. When your observation is completed, your topic is completed, your data is ready to take the analysis. Then go for hypothesis. In the hypothesis, what you are going to do? What is your perceptual information going to find out in the project? So this perceptual expected information can be analyzed under the hypothesis. If you are framing the hypothesis, how the information is going to test and how the results will come out. So that is the second information, what Prasad is already explained. Then experimentation. Then once data is collected, data is tested, and you have to make into experimentation what type of results you are getting using with chi-square test, using with some other statistical tools, how the information will come out. Then these testing is over, you can write your conclusions. This is the major cycle of research which you can do. Your data analysis when you are doing in the job, when you are doing the government or private, or when you are going for the further study, this is the main important research cycle. Maybe this is utilized for your life, utilized for any problem, and data analysis, data conclusion, data observation, data experimentation. These are all if you practice in your life, maybe professional life, maybe personal life, you will get a good thing. That is the reason we need to improve the research. And we have types of research studies. We have basic and applied studies, descriptive and analytical study, empirical and exploratory study, quantitative and qualitative study, which is already Patrick sir is explained, and explanatory and longitudinal, experimental and evaluative, participatory action research. These are all different research, but generally the MCOM people will do descriptive or analytical study. Maybe second point is applicable to you. If you come into the research PhD, the remaining studies will be separate. So this is enough, just what exactly the research type is. And format for preparation of project report. The write-up should be focused on the specific objective of the project, the methodology used, and the major findings. Regarding title, instead of giving a general topic like title, be specified and emphasized. And after the nature of work, the report should be brief with the number of pages of the main contents of the report, being not more than 30 pages. Earlier we are specifically telling it, but now you can take it as 40 pages. The format, appendices, etc. can be taken. The cover page, all of you following, just confirm. Yes or no? Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Cover page, title page is the first one. The second one, bona fide certificate from the project supervisor, head, your principal, you should take a second certificate. Second one is certificate. Then declaration of authors. Authors means you and maybe sometimes 2 people, 3 people, we don't know. But this time, only MCOM student is the own author, single author. He has to make his own project report, only one. Then we'll have abstract. This abstract is very important. Because if you give your project report not for MCOM evaluators, not for Viva purpose, not for examiners, if you give your project report to stakeholders, who is the stakeholders nowadays? UGC is telling every college is a research center. Maybe it is PG or UG. Every college is a research center, means every student should do some project. So that project should be given to the society, that project should be given to the government, so that government will see what is going on researches in the colleges, what are the different topics, what are the solutions, what are the problems, what are the solutions for your nearby. Maybe it is business, nearby your some problems, transportation, HR management, traffic management, something, some projects, if you are preparing nearby your problems, are finding some new concepts. These are all the things which you submit your project report, not only for MCOM evaluators. Your project should be go to the government, your project should be given to somebody who can utilize your project. So that is the main important issue for the new NEP, new education policy. The student of MCOM, definitely you have to prepare a project to utilize the number of stakeholders of society. That is the reason you have to write your project. It's very interesting. If you want to create an interesting of your project study or reading by others your project, you have to create three types. Yeah, please be silent. Then if you want to create a best abstract, the people can read your project properly. How it is? If you give example, your project is at your home. Once your project is completed, it was evaluated, you got maybe good marks or something. This project is given to your family members, your siblings, X, Y, Z at your home. Then they will not read all your project because they don't know about your project. They don't know about your topic. They are odd man out of your subject. Then you should give a best abstract which can be created interest to study your project. So how abstract will be? Generally, people can understand very easily. Abstract should be just like a film trailers. You might have seen. If you go to any movie, definitely we are looking into trailers. So if trailers are good, definitely we can go for movie. If stars, number of stars is good, we can go to movie. If number of reviews are good, we can see the movie. So that is the reason. If your objective abstract is good, then your project will be read and somebody can utilize your project. Otherwise, your project cannot be utilized. So how to write abstract? It will be half page of your full A4 size, half page, only half page. Sometimes 4 or 5, 6 lines. How it is? So just like how trailers, so my study is wonderful analysis of so and so. What wonderful we should not say. It is there inside. So my study, this study will be some wonderful analysis, not my this study. This study is wonderful analysis of so and so. This study is concluded wonderful information of so and so. What wonderful, you should not say, they will read into the inside. So you have to create some of important information which you are used. In this study, some of number of correlations, number of variances, number of association of two variables, some X, Y variables are analyzed. The very important analysis is done and very important conclusions are drawn from this study. If you write such a way, definitely people will get attracted and they will look into your project. That's the reason abstract also is important, not only for projects. If you go to these 4 pages paper submission anywhere, then definitely abstract is important. The table of contents, this is chapters, very important. You have to write very clearly first chapter, what are the things of topics. Second chapter, what are the milestones of company. Third chapter, example I'm telling. So third chapter, the analysis, how many chapters, how many tables, how many subtopics, how many analysis you have done, start with that. Then fourth chapter, it was concluded number of issues, number of important issues, that all you can make it into the table of contents. In 4 chapters, maybe 5 chapters with 4 subtopics which can be created more interest for reading your project. And a list of symbols, abbreviation, these are all commonly you can use or may not be used. Then chapters, what are the chapters? You have to write it very clearly. Then appendices, what are the enclosures, what are the questionnaire, what are the data collection instruments that you have to make into appendices. Somebody writing bibliography. Bibliography is not a chapter, it is an enclosure, appendices. And bibliography, somebody is not having any books references. Everybody is referring only that what it is called, only websites. You can write bibliography. The bibliography, what are the websites? Not write Google search engine. You have to go to the important website, what you have to mail. That appendices references you can put into the last. Then page dimension and binding specification. Start with the A4 page. Left side 1.5 space, right side 1 space, front top 1 space, bottom 1 space, and you can make it all these dimensions of the project report to the A4 size. The project report should be neatly bounded. The cover should be printed in the block letters, and the text for the printing should be the identical. If it is a block binder, take the white color font. If it is a white color, take the block color font. That could be easily identified. The preparation of format, cover page, the title page is already made. A specimen copy of the cover page, title page of the project report are given in the appendix. Bona fide certificate, which was already mentioned, the bona fide certificate, this is the order. In the double line spacing, sign new Roman letter, this is adjustable. And these instructions also there in the MCOM syllabus copy in the last page. Fourth semester MCOM syllabus copy, these are all the instructions of there. Just I'm just highlighting once again. The preparation of format to declaration of the author, see template in the appendix, abstract, table of contents, list of symbols, abbreviations, and manipulations of chapters you have to make. Introduction chapter generally what is introduction chapter should be containing the following information: brief statement of problem and what is what. Definitions you have to write. Your title, you have to think every time what is title. So title definition should come like this. And you have to write important novelty of the problem. You have to refer something. And you can write number 1 reference, number 2 reference. Footnote you can put and write your definitions from so and so forth. How you define? You might have seen in the textbooks. What is marginal costing? You have to, it was referred by so and so institute, London, so and so institute, something. It will be given in the textbooks. Like that, in the project, whatever definitions you have taken, the definitions from so and so references, it was taken. Big reference you can take in the last, but 1 or 2 important names of that particular author, that particular father of so and so topic should be given the footnotes. That is the correct type of making project report with the footnotes. And you have to use whatever we have discussed. These are all the same approach used. This could be in one more chapter. It could be the details of approaches used by the student for arriving the results. The approach could be the theoretical or computational or experimental or combination of these. Description should be detailed enough to enable someone to help with the author's background to use some approaches as I have already given in the maybe footnotes and somewhere you can put it. And the result and the discussions, sometimes some people is not able to give the suggestions. We can put it as a discussions. And conclusions, so discussions, you can put it as, or you can put findings, conclusion, discussions. These more topics will be discussed further in different projects or different researches. That also you can do. So this could also be more chapterization. This chapter includes the specific details of data generated and the results obtained in the graphical or maybe tabular form based on the analysis and interpretation of the data, and the results major findings should be pointed out. Definitely, it should be noted that findings are not to be summarized according to the significance to be stated of some important topic. And we have to write conclusions and recommendations. When conclusions are to be drawn with reference to the previous stated objectives, as I'm already mentioned in the first chapter, objectives or maybe theoretical framework or maybe introduction or something, how you are writing all conclusions, referring to the first chapter, second chapter, third chapter. And you can write the recommendations will be given for any further changes of work, further studies, and would be better completion of the project objectives or something you can mention in the text. So this is all some theoretical issues which we can understand very easily. And please keep in your mind definitely. So your information should be the 4 chapters. This is compulsory not only for MCOM. It is compulsory for your further studies, further job, further profession. You have to make everything data analysis into the systematic manner presentation. That is the research report writing. If you make into the writing properly your report, then other people can understand very easily what exactly your work has done. They will look into that particular issue. So that is the reason what exactly we are telling you every time. You have to make your research report very clear. If your report is very clear, definitely that information sometimes we are understanding not only by the evaluator, not only by your college, all the people who are studying in different methods, definitely they can understand. So before just concluding my session, just I want to show you one more PPT very briefly within 5 to 2 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes. Just a minute, I will share you one more PPT. Is it visible? Please, somebody please respond. Is it visible?
Yes,
or-
sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is also we are systematically we are giving. Yeah, yeah. So when we are going for physical mode of presentation of this all workshops, generally we are moving on to this type of project report because by the time we'll be having 2 hours of time. So we are presenting our PPT like this, but we don't have much time for making all these things. That's the reason previous PPT has shown that is very brief. This is very detailed, very detailed, and it will take a lot of time. It was written very clearly how the research report is going on point to point. So this point to point, if any possibility, I will share in the groups. I will share in the PG college groups. You can ask your faculty members to take some more data from this PPT so that you can understand what is scientifically presented the project reports, which can be helpful for your next upgradation of your studies or next professional life of your maybe government or private jobs. So these are all the things which we have already discussed in the previous PPT. And the writing of research report into abstract, summary, introduction, review of literature, methods, results, conclusions, reference. See how brief it was given. So these are all the generally PPTs we are presenting in the physical book. See, I referred one James Renaldi, which was Indian University. So which was writing of a report. A research report has 7 components, which comes like this. So any person can refer something which was already exists. You can refer it, but don't copy it. The thing is, you cannot copy. Your report cannot say as it is. You have to refer so and so. This can be made into my topic so and so. That you have to refer it. And research report has 7 components which I have made introduction. And introduction what should be there, a review of literature, and introduction what are the topics should be there, and what are the literature review, how to write a literature review, and you have to read any article, any studies, but you write all the studies into 4 to lines. That's enough. It was study is made reviews of 10. Out of 10, one study is like this. In that study, the data is taken and analysis that concluded this 4 lines. You have to write research review like that. But the people sometimes missing. They are just copy paste, copy paste. Don't do that copy paste. You write your own. Then after third point, methodology, how methods is selected for making content, sampling, delivery methods, response, all these things you have to take into fourth category. Method of selection of content, description, method of selection of content, all these things you can see. And the results, after making analysis, how the results is going to display, what type of results, and whether you have made close relation or variations or comparison, girls and boys here you can see the comparisons, who are more, who are less, for all the things have made, these are all the results you can write it. And conclusions and discussions, as we have already discussed earlier, how the conclusions and discussions can be done. Not only that, references also important. Bibliography, references, that is the supporting of evidence of your report. And also questionnaire sometimes, Google Forms sometimes, screenshots sometimes, photographs sometimes. That is all evidence of your project. When Senior Professor Channappa sir is the HOD, he used to ask all research scholars, whatever data you collected, show me the evidence. Evidence might be the video recording, evidence may be the photos, evidence may be the references, evidence may be the websites, evidence may be the interview, something, interviews from so and so persons. These are all the evidences for your project. Definitely, it is also one of the important items which you have to take into the project report. So these are all the very detailed information which we are generally taking for presenting the offline project report. This time not possible, but next year we are planning again for the making this project report offline. So all income people under the jurisdiction of Osmani University come to university one day at least, so that offline we can exchange the information, we can understand the college's standards, You can understand the people exist so that you can understand how best you can do the topic. So this is all the intention of department, which we can do better projects. The only thing is, this is for your life. Definitely, you have to utilize these resources to do best projects in your life. Not only your life, maybe not only for your studies. This is also best for your career, maybe government as private, as I already mentioned. So all the best, PG students, my fraternity of commerce. Do it all live projects so that you can get best knowledge. Thank you one and all for patient listening. Over to Kavita. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for imparting their knowledge. Now the doors are open for the interaction section. We have an eminent professors, Professor D. Chennappa, Professor Patrick sir, Professor Indrakanti Shekhar, the lecturers and the students who are having doubts or queries, whatever it is, you can clarify with these eminent professors.
Yeah, any student wants to speak anything, please unmute and speak. Then concerned professor will give you answer. Come on, anybody can speak.
Any student who's having any queries regarding the project report or any data analysis or report writing, whatever it is, you can clarify with the eminent professors.
We'll have a discussion session, please participate. If you positive or negative, I can ask Sweta and Manoj from MCOM regulars and even from MCOM IS. Our own people can also respond something. Give it your feedback.
Shall
Good
I go
afternoon,
for
sir.
thank you?
Yeah.
Sir, if we are considering any live projects, can we completely rely on secondary data? Or
Yeah,
is
why
it
not?
compulsory to go
Secondary
for
analysis,
primary
it is
data?
not existing. You are making a different analysis, can be taken.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any other? The session is not completed, don't go away. You have one or two more important information will be given before concluding this session. You have
The teachers and the students who are having doubts or any queries regarding the project work or research methodology, our eminent professors are ready to answer your questions.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, sir, I'm very concerning about the vitality of picking a topic. Technically, you speak about how we can pick a specific topic, but my concern is how this topic it will become vital. What I mean by vitality of the topic is that I came from a country in research arena. Locally, when we measure a vitality of any subject headline, mostly we're looking for the government grants. When the government will issue specific grants every year going to the universities, we know those topics under the government concern, it will be vital because the government mostly caring about this specific gaps. Internationally, we were looking for the high scopus journals. Mostly they will do like hot calls for specific articles. We will see those hot calls looking for which area, which gaps they are concerning about. As I am interested to do my PhD in India, I'm just asking what's the sources for measuring the vitality of specific topics concerning the Indian universities, because I don't understand from where I can measure the vitality of the topics, to which extent this topic is much needed recently in research arena. Thank you so much.
Okay, to answer your question, this is a student from Malaysia, has origin in Yemen, and nice to hear you on this platform. I would tell you that if there is a problem, I mean, research, when we say, is to go about with finding solution to a problem. So if you can go about with trying to take an issue which is related with business or commerce kind of a thing there, or you like to probe, there are different types of research. It can be an exploratory research, it can be a descriptive research, it can be a causal research. You're trying to go about with finding a solution to a problem. I mean, there are many people who can say there are problem areas, but the ones who go about with giving solution, like let's say the outcome of your research can be giving direction to the policymakers. That would be a great thing. Or there are issues which students are having, which are not able to open up. So maybe through your research, you can give suggestions as to how things can work out. I mean, how's the funding being used, or how many are benefited, a comparative study between the countries as to how they work out to ensure that they get global exposure. Is there any exchange programs, MOUs between universities? But ensure that it all dwells around commerce. When you say even students part of it there, your Usmania University has got into tie up with a lot of universities in Australia, in America, maybe a few in Europe as well there. So we are planning for what is called as exchange programs, and everybody has got their own terms and conditions. The MOU is not the same there. So how are we trying to go about with balancing these things? So that's something which I thought I could share. So I would always tell that you got to identify a problem and look for, with your application of research skills, can you find a solution to that problem? Did I answer you?
Yes, sir. Actually, the most concerning now for me as a researcher, not only picking a topic or solving a problem. I need this problem to be high impacted. I need to get more citation.
Yes.
This is what I concern about. Not only technically picking a topic, but I need this topic.
The thing
in
is,
stage. Yes.
I understand when you talk about doing the reference work, the literature review and other things that are there, you are there at the campus college. If you can use the ID, like what the researchers are using, you have an ID, you get access to all the journals that are there across the globe in the usmania.ac.in website there. So you can get a lot of rich literature, right? Today you have a lot of AI tools which can be used for research. So some of the journals which are not accessible to you in a normal way, you can get access through AI as well. So that part of it can enrich your citation and literature review. Even I was trying to tell you don't have to reinvent a wheel while doing a research. So what it really matters is what is not done is what you need to focus. If you're doing what is already done, you're going for duplication of knowledge.
No, I mean, sir, my concern not getting the high citation articles. No,
Then,
I mean my job itself. When I'm picking a topic, I need more people citing from me. I need my job to be high impact. That's why choosing the topic is important.
that is possible there. It all depends on the keywords that you use. How do you work on your impact factor and other things? That is little beyond than MCOM. You are more into it and writing and other things there. But I would go about with suggesting you can really work on getting a good citation, good impact factor. These are all the things that you'll have to work on.
Thank you so much, sir.
Right.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Madam, please inform the students that whoever is attending this program will be sharing feedback link. That feedback link, if you are filling up, you will get certificate. So that certificate is very important to include in your project report. So everybody who are attending this workshop, definitely you have to fill up the feedback link. Once feedback link is completed, you will get generated certificate automatically. So that certificate you have to include in the project report. This is the first important instruction. And the second one is the people who are going to present your project report in the college, then definitely you have to take signature of external examiner. So if you take external examiner's signature, tomorrow if you not get any marks in the final examination memo, mark sheet, you can show this project report as evidence which was signed by external examiner. So two things you have to take care when you are completing your project. One is enclosing certificates The another one is taking signature of external examiner when you are attending for Viva. These two are very important information and evidences for your MCOM project marks. Yeah, over to Kavita.
Okay, any students having any doubts, teachers or students? If not, I'll go for a formal vote of thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
Shekhar sir, tell me, ma'am.
Yeah, in alignment with our finance specialization, as guided by Shekhar sir, should we proceed with the financial figure provided by Patrick sir, considering their consistency with historical records and relevance to our current financial analysis?
Yeah, definitely, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, somebody is sorting in the
So, good afternoon to one and all. As we come to the conclusion of this insightful workshop, it's my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the Department of Commerce, Usmania University. First and foremost, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed Chief Guest, Professor Gaddam Naresh Reddy, Registrar of Usmania University, for radiated sources of sharing the valuable knowledge and expertise with us today. I would like to thank our beloved Head Department of Commerce, Professor M. Gangadhar, for all his support in making this online workshop instrumental. I would like to thank Professor K. Krishna Chaitanya, Dean Faculty of Commerce, Usmania University, for inspiring us to think critically and innovate in our respective fields. I would like to thank our Chairperson, Board of Studies, and today's resource person, Professor A. Patrick, for his words of wisdom and knowledge. I thank Senior Professor D. Chennappa, resource person of the first technical session on designing on the research project, for his valuable suggestions, insights, and presentation. I would also thank our principal and resource person of the project report writing, Professor Indrakanti Shekhar, for his commitment and tireless efforts, whose hard work and dedication made this workshop possible. I thank all the professors in the department and the professors of the Constituent College. I would also like to extend my appreciation to all the principals, lecturers, and different colleges for being a part of this successful of online workshop, and the wonderful students who have turned up in such a great number for their active involvement and enthusiasm. A special thanks for non-teaching staff whose support was instrumental in making this event a success. I thank electronic media. Lastly, I encourage all of you to take the insights of the ideas gained from this workshop and apply them in the construction of your project work. Once again, I thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for that wonderful hosting and taking care of everything around it. Thanks a lot.
The feedback form will be shared in the groups. All the students in the lectures, the feedback form will be shared in the groups.
Yeah, we have PG College group. In that we are sharing. You can ask your concerned lecturers or principals in the college. The link is available in the PG College group. That you can take and you can share the information, feedback.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Once again, thank you all the teachers and the students.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Anand. Thank you, Anand.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And madam.
Thank you, sir.
Some colleges have not attended.
Thank you, sir.
You have to report. Whoever is not attended, you have to report to the department. The colleges who are not attended for this workshop reported to the department of. We will identify who are the not attended, who are attended easily, because we have screenshots, attendance, everything digitally recorded. The people who are not attended colleges should report to the Department of Commerce, Usmania University. The attended people, everything is clear. If you feedback link, you can exit from the group. If anything in the chat box, feedback link is there, you can share that link to the group people, to your college people, whoever is registered people only. Other people, whoever attended people only can do, others cannot do. Other colleges, we will talk to the college management.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, who is this?
Good afternoon, sir. This is Nakmo.
Yeah, tell me, Amma.
Sir, how to give feedback? Is there any link?
You are not following me properly. Campus place.
Sir?
So we are sharing the feedback link to the PG colleges group. Okay. So your teachers are there in the PG college group. You can ask your teachers. Okay. Am I clear?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. We are already informed somebody is making WhatsApp messages. This time there is no allotment of topics. It was given to the college management. You can decide the allotment of project report titles to the student, not by the Department of Commerce, Usman University. The titles will be given by the colleges to the students, not by the university. This time, college is given a power to allot the topics. Somebody already making messages in the WhatsApp. అదే వరుణ్ మీరిద్దరు కూడా దాంట్లో పెట్టాల్సింది చాట్ బాక్స్ లో ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ లింక్ పెట్టేస్తే ఈజీగా ఉంది. అదొకటి మిక్స్ అయింది ఇంట్లో పెట్టండి ఇమీడియట్గా. లేదంటే పీజీ కాలేజ్ గ్రూప్ వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్ ఉంది, అందులో వేసిన టీచర్లు వాళ్ళ స్టూడెంట్స్కి ఇన్ఫార్మ్ చేస్తారు. మన స్టూడెంట్స్కి మన గ్రూప్లో పెట్టారు, ఇంకా ఫోర్త్ సైన్స్ గ్రూప్లో పెట్టారు. ఇంతవరకు ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ లింక్ రాలేదు. వరుణ్ చెక్ చేయండి, ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ లింక్ పెట్టండి. ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ ఇచ్చేసి అలాగా ముందే చాట్లో పెట్టాలి కదా, నేను పెట్టాను కదా నాకు వాట్సాప్ చేసి. ఏదమ్మా ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ ఇచ్చి కరోనా తీసుకెళ్తారు. వీళ్ళేమో పొద్దున రాగానే ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ క్లియర్గా ఇస్తాం ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ ఇది వాళ్ళకి